America's fastest growing sport has found a special place in one of its fastest growing cities, where pickleball's fastest rising star has been on a mission. With mom by her side, today the Waters duo plays for gold. Family ties just as strong on the men's side, where Ben and Colin Johns have been unbeatable in 2022. The stakes certainly seem higher here in Texas. More eyes on the sport of pickleball equals more urgency as players step up to center stage in the PPA. Welcome to Championship Sunday at the Austin Open.
I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me.
Elevation Athletic Club, the latest destination on the PPA Tour. The best players in the world hoping to put their names in the history books of the very first Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core. Absolutely thrilled to have you with us. Good morning. Drew Felios alongside Dave Fleming. First event, always very special in the sport of pickleball here at the Austin Open. Dave, what has stood out about this week?
Well, it's great to be back in the heart of Texas, Drew. We've had everything that Texas has. Passionate fans, tremendous pickleball, and the Texas weather has been a factor. It's been hot, there's been wind, that will be a factor again today, but people are loving the pickleball here in Austin.
Stop number 5 on the PPA Tour. Remember, before this year began, Annalee Waters, the female superstar in pickleball, said she wanted to win a Triple Crown. Well, she has already accomplished that, but let's flash back and listen to those goals.
So some goals that I have for this year would definitely be to get my first Triple Crown. I'm super excited to try for this opportunity, and last year I don't think that I ever thought it was possible to potentially win 3 gold medals, but this year I'm looking forward to giving it my best, and hopefully maybe the first one I'll get mine, but I don't know, but I'm super excited to try for that.
Well, she said it, and Dave, she certainly did it at Port St. Lucie.
She did. She had it on the table a couple of times, and she did it 2 weeks ago in Florida. And she always tells us that singles is her favorite, but she finally got that one with her mom, and we'll see them again today. So awesome job getting that Triple Crown by young 15-year-old Annalee Waters.
Just tremendous at the Riverland Open. Can she be outstanding here on Championship Sunday? Well, for more on this great event, what to look forward to, let's check in with Hannah Johns.
Well, Dave, we're missing a couple of faces from the final here today, and a lot of you are wondering why that is. Ben Johns and Annalee did not play together for this one, despite having won every single final so far this year. And the reason for that is players make these commitments to partners months, sometimes years in advance, and they want to honor those commitments. Despite that, that has opened the door for a lot of different teams to make their way into the final here today, and we're so looking forward to watching those matchups.
I'm in the big leagues.
PPA Tour in full swing. St. George, Utah on deck at the Red Rock Open. Then Charlotte and Atlanta away. Today, we're in Austin, Texas. Pickleball Central's Austin Open, powered by Club Core. Championship Sunday is next.
So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it. Peeling off like the whip orange. Seen the effort.
The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Club Core, the world leader in private clubs. Baird, official wealth management partner of the PPA. By Guaranteed Rate, guaranteed home at a guaranteed rate. Duper, make every match count. Select Medical, improving the quality of life. Margaritaville, official lodging partner. By Fit Fine Wine, live your fit. And Volley Seltzer, good, clean fun. Matt Wright needs no introduction. 44 years old, playing like he's 24. Attorney by day, pickleball star the rest of the time. Riley Newman, maybe the best all-around athlete in the PPA.
No doubt. They are coming off winning the last tournament, so they are fired up to stack some championships here.
Tremendous in hand battles, these two. Colin Johns, he has made a name for himself playing alongside his brother, Ben Johns. Both of these guys have recently moved to Austin. They're playing this week like they feel right at home.
Yeah, they love that they woke up in their beds and drove over here today. They are looking for revenge, because it's not that they lost to the duo that's across from them, but they did not take a gold medal in the last PPA event after winning the first three. Will Newman and Wright be able to win when it's the Johns on the other side? That's what we'll find out today.
Championship court here at the Austin Open. Great setting, 73 degrees. The wind has been a factor all week long, and Dave, it will play a factor once again today.
Yeah, it starts with the coin flip at the beginning. You have to make a decision. So the Johns won the toss, and this is best 3 out of 5. So for that 5th game, if we get that far, you want to end up on the better side. So you actually choose the worst side to start with. So they're starting over here. So the wind will be at the back and going left to right across the screen, and it will absolutely be a factor. It has been throughout the tournament. Who deals with that the best? Who feels comfortable? So far, the teams playing into the wind, which would be the Wright and Newman side to start with, have prevailed for the most part.
Absolutely packed here at the Elevation Athletic Club. Ben Johns, best player in the world. He is the big ticket. Fans come to see him, to watch him, and he is making history on this tour at just 22 years old.
Yes, and a lot of times Big Brother Colin is the player on the court that gets a lot of attention, but is probably the most underrated player on the tour for all the magic that we'll see. That big forehand, we'll see that fake, and we'll see incredible defense. Let's play pickleball.
Underway, men's doubles.
Side out.
Side out to Matt Wright, Riley Newman.
0-0-1. Side out, our second server.
And there's an example of in the wind, the wind's at Colin's back. That's a
0-0-2.
dink that usually would bounce, but the wind will keep it up. His brother bailed him out there.
Point.
Lots of Ernies have been happening in that very spot throughout the tournament.
1-0-2.
Ben just catches the net on that effort.
Up against the net for Ben Johns.
So we've seen an Ernie on both sides. Good read by Colin, and again, his Ernie catches the
2-0-2.
tape. So the hometown boys not getting any love from the hometown Nets here to start with.
2-0 lead. Little wide from Newman. How about that hand battle?
Love it, and you can see on the last ball, Riley likes to really sit on his forehand side, and Johns was able to get on the other side of his body. He got his hands there,
0-2-1.
but the wind also pulled it. So anything down that right sideline is going to go wide.
Point.
At right, Riley Newman, they know to be the elite
1-2-1.
team in pickleball, got to go through the Johns brothers.
Second
A
serve.
little heavy-handed that time from Colin.
Yeah, so what you'll see is a lot of short returns from that side of the court
1-2-2.
from Newman and Wright. So if you can attack that third, you'll have opportunities.
Right down the middle.
Side out. Two, 1-1.
Look at the combination of Newman's defense and Wright's offense, those quick hands. It really is a dynamic pair.
Yes, it's
3-1-1.
why they're the #1 seed coming into this, and very confident.
Point.
Also a new team in 2022. It takes a little time, Dave, for the chemistry to mesh.
It certainly does, and they have really gotten better each tournament, and again, looking to win 2 in a row here.
How about that shot from the #1 player in the world?
So when you pull it on this side, you have to have just the right amount of pace because it will get in that jet stream and stay at the same height and go deep. That was perfection from Ben Johns.
Colin comes right back with a shot of his own.
Yeah, so you're going to see shorter returns. You're going to see balls that sail a little farther. So Wright and Newman are going to get to hit balls out of the air that are unexpected. It's the counter off of that you have to be ready for. Colin was ready there because thirds and dinks are going to sail when you're on this side, and that's why this side has been so hard, this side being the side that the Johns are on. You just have to be ready knowing that you are going to be under attack, and they're able to swing bigger because they're into the wind.
Just saw Ben right there doing a little bit of a wind check, ball check.
Second serve.
You play this game, though, all the time, Dave. How much trickier is it to play it when you have whistling winds?
Oh, it changes everything. And you have to remember it affects both sides. So play your game. You know there's going to be differences. And you saw these two here. There was a ball in the middle. There was a little hesitation there, but
3-4-2.
they've played a few games together, haven't they, Drew?
4-3 now. Game #1 here at the Austin Open. Men's doubles gold.
Point.
And you know, you want to be precise, and if the ball isn't exactly where you're used to hitting it, you hesitate. And if you hesitate a little bit, you'll miss a ball like Riley Newman there. That's a ball he's going to make 9 out of 10 every time.
Oh, right up against Colin Johns that time. It'll be a side out for Newman and Wright.
So Colin likes to slide to his right, sit on the backhand. So if you can find the right side of his body like Newman did there, you will get a tag. Great aim and beautiful finish by Newman.
Nice Ernie from Ben Johns.
Second serve.
That's a sick angle there, Drew, huh?
4-4-2. Side out.
So obviously when the wind behind you, you get extra pace. So if that pace is going down, it's even harder to fight that back.
Second serve.
There you go.
Four, 4-2.
Along that time from Ben.
So when Matt Wright is on the right side of the court, and Wright and Newman will switch it up throughout the day, most likely you'll see the Johns dink in the middle of the court where they feel it's safer off the bounce.
Point.
Great reply by Wright there.
5-4-1.
Matt Wright to serve. 1 point lead for Wright and Newman.
Second serve.
In this scenario, you have Wright and Newman in the middle with their preferred
5-4-2.
swings at balls off the ground. So the change will affect where dinks are placed throughout the day.
Oh, nicely done by Matt Wright.
Yes, got Some more love from that non-Austin loving net here so far, as the out-of-towners are getting all of the breaks off the tape so far.
Side out.
Side out now back to the Johns brothers.
So when the team is playing straight up, it changes the strategy. And the Johns, of course, will not ever change their positioning. So that's part of the love of this sport, chess, not checkers.
Ball is really moving right now off the wind. And Riley Newman taking advantage.
That's why you also saw both teams warm up on both sides to try and get used to what it's like. When you warm up, you've got to do that if you play any sort of pickleball at home. Don't just hit a ball on one side of the court, especially in conditions like this. Get used to it on both sides.
5-6-2. Side out.
You had a chance to get out there, Dave, before this match. Saw you hitting it around a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to really feel what they're feeling, and it's a factor, but it's a factor for both teams. So who can deal with the best, who can use the advantages of that. We haven't seen Newman or Wright throw up a lob. It'll be much easier to lob into the wind.
And that's it. Matt Wright, once again, just inside the line.
And again, that's a ball that Ben Johns reads perfectly off the paddle. For normal conditions, that ball's deep.
7-5-2.
Wind keeps it in, and it's hard to adjust your mentality.
And that one off the handle of Ben Johns. So the lead extends for Wright and Newman. Best of 5 here on Championship Sunday.
Wow.
Riley Newman just playing outstanding here thus far. The crowd loving it in Austin.
They are, and the Johns are a team that don't love to call timeout. So if you get them to call timeout, that's good news for your team.
Just underway, Pickleball Central's Austin Open. Wright and Newman in control, 9-5, game 1. Championship Sunday here in Austin, Texas. Drew Felios, Dave Fleming, thrilled to have all of you along for the ride. Men's doubles gold. And a side out here to the Johns brothers. They trail 9-5 to Matt Wright and Riley Newman.
Love to get the ball back right after you call timeout, as they did there. Get a missed third. Beautiful deception and inside out by Matt Wright there. Hold the paddle face like you're going down the line, and then pronate the wrist at contact.
As good as the Johns brothers have been this year, slow starts have sort of plagued them this week in Austin.
Yeah, they had one match where they lost game 1 and then won 11-0, 11-0. So, yes, that's the most obvious example of that.
Slow starts, emphatic finishes.
Yes.
Matt Wright, beautifully done.
So again, Colin is sliding to the right. If you can get a ball out of the air, if that ball bounces, there's no way that Ben can't fill the middle, but he reaches in. Ball sailing just a little long on the dink, and perfect speed on that by Matt Wright.
Game point goes to Wright, and Newman cannot play it much better than that here to start on Championship Sunday.
Now Matt Wright and Riley Newman looking fantastic on air quotes the good side. We'll see if that continues in game 2.
Matt Wright, take a deep breath. He'll play with Lucy Kovalova a little bit later, but right now business at hand with his partner Riley Newman. They're up a game. We're back after this. An absolute blazing start for Matt Wright and Riley Newman here as we head to game 2.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge. Do the Johns roll in an equally impressive fashion because of the side of the court? If they don't, maybe it's more than that. Here we go.
Ben Johns waiting for it.
Side out.
First side out here, game 2.
Yeah, so we saw Wright and Newman do a great job of getting balls that are up, not used to that. Punishing him, finishing him. Tagged Colin Johns on the right sideline.
Ben Johns with the Ernie.
And that's his magic power, is the ability to be on balance always. He goes low to dig out a ball, leave it in the kitchen, and then reads where the next ball and is able to get there. Incredible earning by Ben Johns there.
Tremendous defense. Riley Newman a little surprised that ball came back to him.
Two, 0-1.
Colin Johns right down the line.
So again, when you are dropping a ball into the wind, you can use it as a backboard. Just throw it up there and the wind will bring it right down into the kitchen. That's why that side is preferred. There's another one that'll just die in the kitchen.
Ben Johns unsuccessful, and they're going to say it's a foot fault.
Well, it's a hole Johns into the guaranteed rate sign on the net fault. Can't touch the net, folks, and you can see Ben clearly slid as he was trying to jump the corner there. The minute he touches the net, the point is over.
Oh, just tremendous pickleball. That one winds up against the body of Matt Wright.
4-0-2. Side out.
That ball is going to hit the Pickleball Central sign if it's hard to get the paddle out of the way. It's a gift to be able to know what balls are out or not. Certainly anything up on the side coming from Wright Newman's going to go out. Just couldn't get out of the way there. Like that ball right there.
Second serve. Zero, 4-2.
Oh. Off the paddle of Colin Johnson, it gets Wright Newman on the board here.
Yes, another one that's probably deep but couldn't get the paddle out of the way.
1-4-2.
Nothing you could do about that one, just too much Ben Johns.
And you see Riley Newman, who's usually so precise with his third shot drops and any of his transition balls. Again, the range is different on each side.
4-1-1.
He thought he missed the first one and the net got it just to kick over, but then the next one way high.
Oh, it stays in. Little wide.
Second serve.
Riley Newman really focuses on watching video, Dave,
yes.
studying his opponents. Almost like a great football player. You watch film, same thing.
No doubt, all of them are doing it now. As the amount of video that's available is so much more in the game now that you have to do that, because the sport is growing so fast at all levels that if you don't change things in your game, both physically, strategically, mentally, you're going to get passed by
2, 4,
because everybody
1.
else is doing it.
Wright and Newman pulling closer as Matt Wright lets his emotions be felt.
Yeah, so the beautiful Matt Wright forehand, he's got to have the right amount of topspin to
3,
keep
4,
that
1.
in with the wind at his back. He hit it perfectly right there.
Second serve.
So when you do have the wind at your back, you
3, 4,
can
2.
be aggressive, especially when you're serving. There's no harm to the scoreboard if you miss.
It's in. Wright can't get it.
Side out.
I heard Matt Wright say there, sorry, man, I thought it was going out, but
4, 3, 1.
on this side, it's usually going to be in.
Not that time.
Second serve.
Beautiful cross-court attack there by Riley Newman. If you go cross-court attack, it's hard to keep it in so it isn't wide
4,
when
3,
you
2.
attack. So you got to go for the outside hip, and he did it perfectly there.
Point.
Skips off the net right by Newman. Drops in.
So you would think the net would be kinder to the team with the wind at its back, but it's actually been the team with the wind in their face
5, 3,
getting some
2.
love off the tape today.
Point.
Now 6-3. Here, game number 2. Johns brothers conceded game 1.
Yeah, and on that one, you want to come up,
6-3-2.
split step, and be set, and then the ball moves another foot. You are then reaching instead of having that solid balance that all these players usually have.
Point.
Wind really playing tricks here.
7, 3, 2. Point.
And there's the sound of a timeout, Drew. That
Timeout,
paddle
three
hitting the
receivers. The
ground.
score is 8-3-2.
Little frustration on the side of Wright and Newman. So the fast start and that momentum's been halted here. The Johns brothers making a statement, leading 8-3, game 2 here in Austin. Number 1 player in the world on the men's side, Ben Johns, and his brother Colin,
8-3-2.
battling back here with an 8-3 lead, game number 2. What a get by Ben Johns. It's almost unfortunate that they didn't win that point.
That would have been the Johns family highlight reel, the holiday card. There's the incredible
3-8-1.
tweener right there. And then again, Newman was able to catch Colin Johns on that cross-court attack. They would have loved to have had it. And there's a beautiful cross-court attack of his own from Ben Johns there. But the quickness to run down the first ball and then hit a
3-8-2.
tweener perfectly shows you all of the tricks he's got available.
Those shots are becoming more and more routine as this sport continues to grow, aren't they?
Yeah.
People master it.
Yeah, and this is the entertainment business, and he gets it. So, you know, if he can get that ball tweener and hit a
8-3-1.
similar shot, he's going to do it.
A little bit long
Second
from Ben
serve.
Johns.
Yeah, and it's just so, there's so much tension at the kitchen line here because
8-3-2.
you don't want to hit it just a little harder than you think you need to if you're Wright and Newman, because it'll sail like that cocktail right there on the return.
9-3-2.
9-3 now. 2 points away for Ben and Colin.
Side out.
Jam Ben that time. Side out back to Newman and Wright.
3-9-1. Point.
It's a big 9-3 lead swing by Ben Johns right there.
4-9-1.
Oh, Matt Wright plays it off the net and places it beautifully in the corner.
Yeah, Ben Johns had a ball that's going to be put away, but again, that cord
5-9-1.
sits it up. Wright does not panic, which oftentimes players do when it goes off the tape. You got to be patient.
Point.
Another point here, Dave.
Yeah, and you heard Colin scream no, because that ball's definitely deep. Hard to get the paddle out of the way.
6-9-1.
So come back here for Wright and Newman. Can they keep it going?
Second serve.
Have to deal with the second serve.
6-9-2.
And that's in from Colin Johns.
So you saw again, Riley Newman slide, cover that forehand, find that left shoulder. Great ball by Colin Johns there.
9-6-1.
Little run at him though.
And Matt Wright can't square it up.
So the Johns feel very comfortable. If they're in trouble at all in the dink, they throw it in the middle when they're in this arrangement, not the other way around. We've seen Riley Newman attack and Matt Wright attack, but here we are at 10.
Around the post from Ben Johns, Matt Wright.
That's going to
Can't
sail
finish
wide.
the point, and it does sail wide. Crowd loving it.
10-6-2.
Another game point here for Ben and Colin. How about that Lindsey Newman defense? Just as I see that.
How about that Riley Newman defense as well, Lindsey? So beautiful point there, and the side is a factor.
You know, I said Lindsey because she is thought of today big time. She is expecting her child today.
She's on all of our minds.
We are thinking of you.
Absolutely.
Riley and Matt hope to come back. We're tied at 1 here in Austin. The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Pickleball Central, your pickleball superstore. By Hertz. Hertz puts you in the driver's seat. Hyper Ice. Do what you love more. Gearbox, the official paddle of the Austin Open. And Durafast 40, the official ball of the PPA.
Game 3.
11-5,
0-0-2.
11-6 for Ben and Colin Johns. Game 3 here in Austin begins.
Side out.
Nice rolling dink by Ben Johns there. Gave
0-0-1.
Colin a big hack at a forehand, but ripped it into the net. Riley Newman willing the ball over. Lefty.
How good was that?
So Ben went for a huge angle as he ran around his backhander. You want to make sure you don't push it too far and just give a layup of an ATP. Hit it just the right amount, and Newman had to find a left-handed ball just to keep the point going.
One thing I'm noticing too, Dave, especially during the dink battles, each team is making the other team cover every single inch and more of the court.
Absolutely. You want to spread them apart and then find the middle.
Point.
Newman upset at himself that time.
1-0-1.
Take a chance, see if it pays off.
And
Not that time.
Ben says no. Again, lobbing from the side right there is great, and Ben Johns has the sky hook overhead that you see there. Hits it from behind him and then is able to hit down on it.
Second serve.
Very difficult shot. I like the lob from the side that Wright and Newman are on, into the wind. You got to just play it in the middle of the court because it's going to be drugged to the right because of the wind.
Watch it.
Riley Newman working extra hard for that point.
Timeout by the receivers.
And now a timeout will be called. So both teams will take a deep breath. Ben and Colin, a 3-0 lead here. Game number 3. It's been a battle of sides thus far.
Yeah, and in this case, Ben and Colin are off to a good start on the bad side. So they're going to just try and build on that as you go. And you just want to, how do I scrape? Can we just maybe eke out an 11-8, an 11-9 on the side with the wind at our backs? Because we know how much more difficult it is to play on that side. So, okay, we're at 3. Can we get to 6 and maybe it's 6-4? Can we just ease the car into a tight parking spot here and get there?
Lead official this morning is Howard Hepworth. Damon Berry, our second official. Scott Keenum is tracking. And the officials on video, Brooke Hollis and Leon Jingozia.
They're checking the video now to see if he really did commit a football. Folks, if his challenge is, if he wins the challenge, he will not be charged a timeout. He is not.
Take a look at the feet of Riley Newman.
Feet look perfection there by Riley Newman.
Did he not commit a football? What do you guys think? Let me hear you.
Because I know it was called timeout on the court, but I was surprised that's not a spot that, unless there was a health situation or I need a quick break, which wasn't a long point. So it was actually activating that Ernie looked like it required a sick amount of athleticism, and from what we just saw there, it appears that it was done cleanly. We'll see if there was something else that we're missing.
As I mentioned earlier, Riley Newman may be the best all-around athlete in the PPA. Tremendous basketball player coming out of high school.
Yeah, and he uses that defense and that ability to get himself into awkward positions and get out of it and be ready to turn that defense into offense, and boom, he's pancaking a ball at your feet.
Call is upheld. No foot fault. Side out. Score 0-2-1. Timeout will be charged.
Yeah, nothing underscores his athleticism more than that, because he had to reset his feet and then have that body and core strength to leap over. You can leap over it. The kitchen is flat. It's not a three-dimensional object. Great footwork by Newman there.
Newman and Wright hoping to get on the board here. Game 3.
Point.
Ben Johns up against his body, can't put it over.
Yeah, and again, a nice deceptive forehand there by Matt Wright. He's been using that forehand impressively throughout this event.
Second serve.
And you saw Ben say that's not happening twice. So it's just slid a little bit and had the backhand right in front of him.
1-2-2.
Beautiful counter.
Matt Wright has the final say.
And again, it's that when Riley Newman is on the right side of the court and you dink middle, that whole thing started with a cross-court attack at Colin Johns that just, it took 4 more balls to finish, but it started the flow of that point.
Side out.
Side out back to the Johns brothers, so Wright Newman tie it, unable to take the lead.
2-2-1.
Just too much, Riley Newman.
2-2-2. You're there.
Nice encouragement from Matt right there.
Don't watch the game as much as you do, Dave, but right now, when I watch Riley Newman play, this is as good as I've seen him.
Yeah, and under difficult circumstances with the flow of how you've got to play. It's easy to play great when the conditions are great. So to have a level
3, 2, 1.
above that you're seeing, even more special.
And when you have that great athleticism, able to adjust to the wind, it's almost like trying to tackle Jerome Bettis in the month of January in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Not easy to do, right?
No. You got to get mud and snow and grabbing onto that jersey, and you just can't get the man down.
Side out.
And Drew owes a letter to Riley for talking great about him. Then he hit a third about 400 miles deep. So you can pen that letter, sir.
Never fails. That is something, though, that players definitely have to learn to keep their minds right no matter the conditions. This is an outdoor sport 99% of the time.
Yeah. And it's not a surprise today because it was like this the rest of the time.
Yeah. Side out.
And you've got to draw on that. So, hey, what did we do yesterday on the side with the wind that was effective? Let's bring a piece of that. Same on the other side. We saw some of the teams, and particularly Catherine Parento and Jesse Irvin, just decided to just all-out attack when they had the wind at their back, and that was effective, but you have to be convicted to that choice. Knowing there will be errors in that, so it's a high risk, high reward. You can do it when you're serving because there's no risk on the scoreboard for the other squad. So you just choose some pieces. Championship Sunday enables you to do that. Let's take a little bit of Thursday, a little bit of Friday, a little bit of Saturday, and put that all together. So if you get pushed off the line on the far side, then you executing a dink is harder because it's a little farther to go and the wind will push your ball down. So if you get off the line, that is absolutely the goal of Colin and Ben here. Push them back.
Oh, Riley Newman, opportunistic.
Second serve.
And Colin John's frustrated with that ball right there. That's a dink that, you know, got caught in the jet stream and stayed up and got punished.
Just long.
All 4 players on the court weren't quite sure, is that the wind going to hold that in there?
Yes, you are.
Heard Matt Wright even say, get in there. Did not.
Able to put it up against the chest of Colin.
Yeah, he's reaching in on a dink that just sails a little farther, and if you slide and the ball's able to take out of there, you see you want to find that right shoulder, as Matt Wright did the right thing on the right shoulder. Well done.
Tied once again at 4.
Yeah, great two-handed back in. Third shot drive by Newman there.
Get the feeling that game 1 we saw the best of Wright and Newman. Game 2 the best of the Johns brothers. This game we're really starting to see the grind. Which team can survive it?
Yep.
Right now it is Newman and Wright.
And paddle is down, so the thing that will take away is any further challenge here, because this is the second time out. They lose one for the incorrect challenge before, and now they're taking one.
6-4, game number 3. Matt Wright and Riley Newman shining on championship court here in Austin. Austin, Texas. Great to have you with us. We're live from the Elevation Athletic Club, Pickleball Central's Austin Open, powered by Club Corp. Game number 3. Stats to look at right there from Newman and Wright. Matt Wright can't believe he didn't return that, and the crowd has a good laugh.
Ben Johns just checking with Howard Hepworth. What's the score? Are we in the right spot? Do we have the right server?
Previous point.
Not always easy to keep track of.
Yeah, you were not correct. Yeah. 6-1.
I think we had an incorrect serving situation.
Yes.
You didn't want to tell us that before, Ben?
So Ben just sauntered up to Howard Hepworth and said, I'm not sure they're in the right position there. And Riley just said, didn't you want to tell us that?
Officials chatting, and Ben Johns was correct there. Matt Wright now will serve.
And Matt admits that he just served when he shouldn't have, and now, so look, we had the wrong server on the wrong side. It is now getting squared away. So they lost the point in a variety of ways. You don't get to lose the point 7 times, though. Okay, here we go.
So 6-4-2 here.
Side out.
Nice penetrating dink by Colin Johns there.
If they had scored that point and it was the wrong server,
they would have.
It would have been forfeit.
They would have overturned it.
4-6-1. Second serve.
I know. You got middle there, right?
4-6-2. Point.
Man, unbelievable inside out backhand counter attack by Ben Johns there. Got the ball on the other side of the body to set himself up for the next one. Next level brilliance.
Side out.
And Matt Wright is holding up his forehand saying, I know you tried some of your magic tricks, but my paddle was ready, my friend.
Side out back here to Wright and Newman. Chance to extend their lead. Critical points here.
Second serve.
Snuck one past him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not trying to hit that ball in. You're trying to make a mistake. Not necessarily tag him, but get him to react as he did there.
Colin Johns up against the line, avoids the foot fault.
And this is a huge moment because if the Johns are able to sneak this one over the finish line, they're going to switch to, again, the preferred side and maybe never have to come back to the bad side.
Point.
So tied at 6. It's a great point, David. Ben and Colin can pull here.
6-6-1.
Ben Johns right now on a mission.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about earlier. If you just want to just say, you know, zero blitz, back to football. We're sending everybody, just play aggressive, go make it happen. Let serves a replay here at the PPA. Oh, got a ball on from one of our great amateur players. Maybe didn't have a great moment on that particular shot.
7-6-1.
Off the hand is fine.
Yeah, I did not hear a paddle on that exchange. Newman able to come through.
So just to reset that, your hand's considered part of the paddle. So obviously we didn't hear that paddle sound. If it hits up on your forearm, elbow, dead ball. Other team's point.
When you're Riley Newman, many times holding the paddle with both hands can happen very often.
Side out.
Just slid and pulled it a little bit wide.
Point.
That's a big point.
7-7-1.
Several ties and lead changes here in game 3.
Second serve.
There's that cross-court attack, catches Matt Wright. Great job by Ben Johns there.
That one's not coming back. A side out for Ben and Colin.
No, and I'm worried about the security of the fence after the pace that hit it at.
7-7-1. Point.
Ben Johns, are going to see him later also in men's singles.
Yes. And we'll see Riley and Matt playing against each other later. So they'll have to reset their who I really want to do well systems.
Ben and Colin starting to sizzle here in front of the hometown crowd. We can say that now here in Austin.
Yes, the adopted sons here as the Maryland boys have matriculated down here. And Colin is now, oh, and the Dikembe Mutombo finger is out from Colin Johns. He'd been beat on those cross-court attacks a couple times, but so ready now. And an obscene forehand by Ben Johns. And they said, we're going full pressure. Here it comes. Strategy's one thing, executed perfectly is the other.
Look out, the Johns freight train is coming. Just an absolute buzzsaw in game number 3. They lead 2-1 on the cusp of a men's doubles gold championship at the Austin Open. Games 2 and 3 to the Johns brothers. Do Matt Wright and Riley Newman have something left here in game 4? We're about to find out.
Yeah, they certainly flipped the switch on the good side discussion by using that pace of the wind.
Does not get much better than that.
No, and Riley Newman said, I see what you did. We're going to try the same thing. We're coming full blast, and here we come.
1-0-2.
Better get your battle stations ready, boys.
Paddles nearly collided that time.
They did collide, and usually that's bad news for the collision team, but that sometimes completely throws off your opponent and it goes over for a winner.
Quick 2-0 lead. Certainly the start Newman and Wright needed.
Side out.
And now that slide that Colin got caught on a couple times, he's timing it just right. And that ball was going to hit 2 inches inside the sideline, and he's still there, able to get the backhand.
Just a little bit out. I mean by inches.
Again, great read by Ben Johns there. And
0-2-2.
with the wind, you'd think a little flick would stay in. That one sailed a bit deep.
Point.
So that's one of those when you probably went to a troubled spot, but you know that maybe you can react to it. Matt knew he went up high to Ben Johns, trying to keep him honest on the backhand. Oh.
Point.
Newman covering so much court.
Yeah, and he will hold the paddle backwards like he did there and still get a ball in a lot of the time, just with his ability to cover ground quickly.
Ben Johns attacking. Full attack mode here in game 4.
And Tyson Mcguffin sitting right in front of us, seeing this. He'll see that full attack mode later in singles.
Point.
And a beautiful inside-out attack there by Colin Johns, and Wright and Newman know it's this game or there's nothing about a game 5 that's going to happen here.
So a 4-0 run for the Johns brothers. They lead 4-2.
Yeah, and that is reflective of a full 12-month slate. Last year, Ben and Colin did not play together, so his number is going to keep inching higher as they continue to play on so many championship Sundays.
Point. Three, 4-1.
No.
Second serve. Three, 4-2.
Overhead, big time from Ben.
And just a beautiful forehand flick in the middle to set that up before it. Yes, the overhead gets all the love here, but it's that shot there that set it up, finding that paddle side hip. That's where you want to attack, people. Paddle side hip of your opponent. And there it is again, paddle side hip, but you have to be ready for the next ball. And a lot of tennis players coming into the sport are used to big swings, finish, and they don't have their paddle up. Come to pickleball, get that paddle ready for Act 2.
Big difference in the two sports. Colin Johns right now is just on fire. And they are playing at this level,
6-3-1.
just about unbeatable. Defense right now from the Johns brothers, exceptional.
Point.
And everyone loves the flashy part of Ben Johns, as well you should, but watch him defend
7-3-1.
on balance, never in a hurry, leaving it in the kitchen. The chance to be a superstar will come.
Second serve.
Just be under control.
So important.
7-3-2.
It's obviously an emotional game, but you rarely see him and his emotions get out of sorts either. It just always seems to be, like you said, in
3-7-1.
control.
It's a huge part of any sport.
Point.
Great job by Matt Wright of being ready for that attack there and countering beautifully. They need to go here.
4-7-1.
Do or die here for Wright and Newman. Matt Wright just cannot adjust.
Yeah, it's the ball before that Riley Newman is so good at leaving, but again, you're calibrating so many things running through the little computer in your mind of third shot computer. How hard should I hit this? And again, everyone, if you play doubles and you play with an aggressive partner, you can slide to the right sideline and literally be standing on it because it takes that away and it sets up balls in the middle for your partner. No one does it better. Colin Johns, best right side player in the game. It's not even close because he knows how to do his role and set up his partner.
Big statement right there, but Colin living up to it for sure.
Yeah, and again, catching that right side. You saw that windshield wiper maneuver there, which is when Matt Wright is trying to protect the right side of his body with a backhand grip.
Oh, Colin went for the trick shot, nearly pulled it off.
Oh, why hit a backhand when I can hit that?
We've seen a lot of players pull that off. Jay DeVilliers certainly goes to it. McGuffin has gone to it often. Ben Johns now and Colin.
Yeah, again, back to the entertainment. And sometimes it's the only choice you have. And
point.
There's the big rip.
5-9-1.
Ben would choose that again. Ball bounced up above the net height. It's a good time to attack.
What a point. Play on.
Second serve.
tremendous by all players and just a incredible reaching in finish. Look at that, the ball. The wind wanted to take that wide. It's just hung in there.
Side out.
Wright can't return that, so side out back to Ben and Colin Johns. A chance to put this match away.
9-5-1.
Need two.
Point.
And now championship point.
10-5-1. Second serve.
Just wide enough so that the reach stopped the opportunity, but a second chance here.
Can Wright and Newman stay alive? Ben and Colin Johns fall in game one, come back, win 3 straight. As dominating as they can be here in their new hometown of Austin, Texas.
Yeah, and there's that cross-court attack that Colin Johns worked earlier, but the last 5 of those were beautiful replies, and it's Colin Johns that gets the last statement here on Championship Sunday.
Ben Johns spectacular. As you said, Dave, cannot underestimate Colin Johns. He has his place in this great sport. When we come back, we'll talk to the winners, get you ready for the rest of the day here at the Austin Open. Just a gorgeous championship Sunday here in Austin, Texas. Ben Johns and Colin Johns defeat Matt Wright and Riley Newman to take men's doubles gold here at the Austin Open, brought to you by Pickleball Central. Much more pickleball to come, but right now, let's slow it down, check in with the winners, and join Hannah Johns on the court.
Thanks, Drew. So excited to be here. Colin, Ben Johns, big congratulations to you both for taking the title here today. Guys, Matt and Riley started out on the good side in terms of wind. How important was it to take game 3?
Very important, because with the wind blowing as much as it is today, it's a real advantage to be on this side right here. So getting game 3 was really important, and we made an adjustment to make that happen, but they came out of the gates firing and made it really tough.
Obviously, one of the most important parts of the game is knowing when to let that ball go out, especially during wind. How instinctual is that, Ben?
You know, it's an experimentation process for sure. You got to get some reps doing that. But yeah, no, it's very important. You got to do it. You got to be cognizant of it. And you know, as partners, I think we did a good job of reminding each other.
All right, and guys, how are you going to celebrate today's win, coming back to win the gold? You didn't get the gold in the last tournament, but you're back on now.
Yeah, it feels really good, so I'm sure we'll have something fun planned for tonight. It's our hometown city, so I'm sure we'll find something to do.
Ben, anything to add to that?
Ooh, steakhouse dinner and a glass of wine.
All right, I'm going to bring Connor Ogden from the PPA Tour on court now to present your trophy, guys. Connor?
Ben and Colin, congratulations on yet another PPA title. We're excited to have you guys out here in Austin, and thanks for coming out for all the fans and everybody out here. And so on behalf of the PPA, we'd like to present you this trophy.
Congratulations, guys. Dave, over to you.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Ben Johns, will see him later in men's singles. The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Club Core, the world leader in private clubs. Baird, official wealth management partner of the PPA. By Guaranteed Rate, guaranteed home at a guaranteed rate. Duper, make every match count. Select Medical, improving the quality of life. Margaritaville, official lodging partner. By Fit Fine Wine, live your fit. And Volley Seltzer, good, clean, fun. Annalee Waters, the main attraction on the PPA Tour right now. Just 15 years old. Her mother, Lee Waters, at age 42, playing at the top of her game. Playing with her daughter adds a little bit of life to those legs, and certainly a lot of inspiration. Watching these two play is something else. If you've never seen it, you're in for a treat. Annalee just continues to get better and better.
She does, and she is playing even more confidently, coming off, as we mentioned in the Open, the Triple Crown. They've got their new Fila sponsorship, so they're decked out, matching outfits, looking great. And Lucy Kovalova's got 2 shots at gold today, so she's excited to be playing with Matt Wright, who unfortunately for him was not able. Silver's still a great result. And then Utah's favorite, Callie Smith. You're going to see the feet moving at 100 miles an hour, always ready. Big fire coming from her. And, you know, Drew, you and I talked about this new partnership, Lucy Kovalova and Callie Smith, with Lucy before we got started today. And she mentioned how important it is for them to gel off the court as well as on the court, because they bring that here. They bring that budding friendship. They bring that synergy together. And any partnership in life, whether it's a pickleball partnership, your spouse, your business partner, it's got to work no matter where you put it. Now we're going to put it in between the 44 by 20.
You know, you make that point, and I think it's such a great one. I tried to break down her game and say, you know, what about her game complements her? She says, that doesn't matter. As long as our personalities get along and we get along, the rest takes care of itself.
Yeah, and they are also fortunate in that Lucy loves to play the right side of the court. Callie loves to play the right side of the court, have that big Callie Smith Onyx paddle forehand in the middle. So it all gels together very nicely. Speaking of paddles, Lee Waters made a paddle change within the Paddle Tech family, and we've seen a little more pop on the ball there, and her game is rising in 2022 as well. She wants to get another title right here. They won the last one.
Lee playing at the top of her game. How much of a difference is that paddle? Is it the paddle? Is it her? Is it a little bit of both?
It's probably all of the above. And I think, you know, if you think you've done something that's just a little different, your confidence then comes right along with it. So this is going to be likely the most entertaining. From the fans just love watching how these ladies scrap. I mean, certainly we saw tweeners and ATPs and Ernies for the men. So it's just different when you've got mother-daughter against 2 of the best players to ever play the sport in Callie and Lucy. This is going to be a blast.
Game 1, Tommy.
Let's go.
2.
Women's Pro doubles underway at the Austin Open. Going to see great shots, great returns. As a side out to start off for Kovalova and Smith.
0-0-1.
One thing I do love, Dave, I love the color coordinations on both sides.
Yes. You know, the professionalism and look of the sport needs to just keep rising, and that's a part of it.
Side out.
Great attack by Lee Waters there. Not a huge amount of pace, but again, Lucy Kovalova sits back in. Got to find the right side of her body.
Point.
Now, if you're just joining us, the wind is certainly howling here in Austin, and you see it playing tricks here right off the bat.
1-0-1. Point.
Yeah, and if you are just joining us, the wind is at the back of the waters and moving also left to right across your screen.
2-0-1.
Nicely done from Lee Waters.
Again, right side of the body, caught the right hip area there. That's where you want to go.
3-0 lead to start for Lee and Annalee. And that's a winner from Lucy.
When you've got the length of Kovalova and you are on that side and the dinks are going to sail, you've got to be looking, you got to be ready. Great job of reaching in and attacking a ball, and then you can flick it because that ball's going to stay in the court.
Great get by Annalee, but that one's going to sail long for Mother Lee.
Yeah, so when you're on the side the Waters are on, you have to defend more places on your body because it's going to be in, usually up above your shoulders. That ball's out, but because of the wind, that ball's going to stay in. So your paddle preparation is different.
Looked like it was a little wide, and it was. Annalee making the call.
0-3-2. Point.
First point for Lucy and Callie.
Yes, we'll look up ambitious in the dictionary, and
1-3-2.
there's the picture, very low. Waters loved to rip those two-handers. That was a tough ball to hit.
Side out.
Especially when you are with the wind at your back, because those dinks are going to be drawn then back towards the net, so it's going to be even lower when you get a swing at it. Getting a gentleman who bought 11 Waters in honor of the Waters there off the court.
Point.
Annalee comes up big.
And, you know, we saw the John's boys on this side of the court attack, use that wind. And there it is on the female side. So that strategy from this side paying dividends so far.
Lee and Annalee first making their big splash at Nationals, remember, before the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
Then they went off the map just a little bit. 2022, they have been solid.
Second serve.
Yeah, and they were third, just trying to get there. You know, Annalee's winning one or two things, and then boom, Triple Crown in Florida, and then here they are on Championship Sunday again.
5-1-2.
First around the post.
Point.
So if you're on the right side looking for an ATP, the wind is going to say, yes, I would like you to do that. Come this way, because I'm going to keep pulling the ball farther around the post. So great choice by Annalee on a ball that at first maybe didn't look like that was there.
That one got away from her just a bit.
Yeah, when they shake and bake or mean drop or drive, and Annalee wants to come up, she wants to extend those arms and rip that next ball, jammed up beautifully by
1-6-1.
Kovalova and Smith there.
Point.
Six 2-6-1. Game number one. And that's in. Beautifully done by Kovalova.
So that's the deal of you've got to defend places you're not used to if you have the wind at your back, because that stayed up even though it went by the right shoulder with some pace. That ball's out
3-6-1.
in Florida. Not here today in Texas with the wind.
Annalee keeps it alive.
Point. Timeout
Lee
receiving team.
cannot.
4-6-1.
And we'll take our first timeout. Here, a 6-4 lead for the Waters duo. Annalee Waters, Lee Waters taking on Lucy Kovalova and Callie Smith here at Pickleball Central's Austin Open. Just a tremendous week of pickleball here at Pickleball Central's Austin Open, powered by Club Core. Drew Felios, Dave Fleming. First event here in Austin, Texas from the PPA. Dave, I think it's been a smash.
Oh, it is. And, you know, the crowd here is loving it. The ability to take the tours we showed in the what's coming up. Texas to Utah, Utah to North Carolina, North Carolina to Georgia. It tells you everything about the sport. It is growing everywhere.
Lucy Kovalova starting to build up some steam here in game one.
Yes, and the Waters are very methodical and smart about their use of timeouts. They didn't want to run to continue, but it did there. Boy, beautiful drive there by Callie Smith.
How about Callie Smith? Lee can't get to it. 6 in a row.
Everyone's smiling after that, because after all that beautiful hand battle, it's a little kiss off the net that decides the winner at that point.
Annalee just switches hands so easily in such a short period of time.
Yeah, because for two-handed backhand hitters, if you hit one-handed volleys, just coordinating getting that left hand up there if you want to take a big hack at it can be a problem.
Six, 6-1.
How about Lee Waters?
So anytime you have the big lead, you don't ever want to lose the lead. They got all the way to 6s, but now get the lead back.
Just off the paddle of Kovalova, so call it in.
Yeah, where that ball landed is irrelevant. Went off the tip of the Onyx Premier paddle that she uses.
Talk about Lee and Annalee as that goes off of Kovalova. They really changed the way that the women's doubles game is played, haven't they?
Yeah, they just brought, they've sort of evolved themselves. They brought, we're going to play all out attack. We're going to swing from the midcourt. We're going to bring pace all day long. Ladies, deal with it. We don't care. We're going to hit everything hard. Well, guess what? The best ladies course corrected and said, well, that's not going to work because we're going to block all that. You can still bring it. So now they have the refinements at the kitchen. Annalee's two-handed backhand roll dink. Lee being able to manipulate the ball all over the place, and they still have the fire. So the teams that win are the ones that complement each other the best, as we talked about at the beginning of this, but the teams that have the most variety in shot making are the ones that play on Sundays.
Lucy Kovalova talked to her about replacing Simone Jardim as her partner. She said, for me, I thought about who's the toughest to play against, and it was a no-brainer, Callie Smith.
9-6-1.
Tremendous battle we have here on Championship Sunday. That's how you come out of a timeout.
Yeah, just shut up, ladies. That's so good. So good. And you saw Callie Smith's side. She thought she was going to get a ball down the line when Annalee had to track one down behind her. Kovalova came just enough with her. You got to be in sync.
Oh, it just drops right in front.
You just can't get frustrated by that. I know it's easy to get frustrated by that. But
6-1. Second serve.
And this is the variety that the Waters can play with. Like, do we want to switch out? Do we not? When Lee's returning, it's tough. Let's stay. But now they're going to switch. They almost forgot.
This is why women's doubles is the most popular event.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
I am wearing a hat and I tip it. I mean, just all four ladies, and there's Mom and daughter even in sync on the fist pumps drill. Perfectly choreographed.
9-6-1.
It's a great point.
Serve back to the Waters, and a chance to take game one.
Second serve.
Nicely done by Callie Smith.
Again, a good job by just taking margins away. So deep in the middle, deep in the middle. Let them sort out who's going to take the ball there.
So an opportunity there, and Callie Smith able to take advantage as they win the serve back.
Six, 9-1. Point.
Another point for Kovalova and Smith, trying to battle back here.
Yep, Lee Waters went for the attack off the two-hander. Kovalova ready.
Left it open for Annalee.
Watch this action.
Just unbelievable. Rarely does that happen to Annalee Waters, though.
I mean, the defense is so good on the other side. You got to hit 11 winners on every point.
So Annalee and Lee Waters unable to pull away. Kovalova and Smith keeping them close. 9-8 here, game one at the Austin Open. That's wide from Annalee, so the run continues.
And the Kovalova reach for the sky fist pump. The highest fist pump in all the land. We're at elevation. She's elevating that arm.
9-9-1.
Definitely a lot of reach from Smith and Kovalova that other teams cannot match. And that's in as well. It's 10-9. What a comeback.
Tremendous comeback, and again, if that is the good side, you want to defend it, and now it looked like they weren't going to be able to, and now they got a game point.
Waters are going to have to win 2 in a row here, Dave, and they cannot do it. Lucy Kovalova and Callie Smith, tremendous on the comeback. They win 11-9.
And it's the fight and conviction those two have together that enables you to make a comeback like that.
How about these pairs? Waters and Waters, Kovalova and Smith. A matinee special. Championship Sunday at the Austin Open continues in a moment. The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Pickleball Central, your pickleball superstore. By Hertz. Hertz puts you in the driver's seat. Hyper Ice. Do what you love more. Gearbox, the official paddle of the Austin Open. And Durafast 40, the official ball of the PPA. Lucy Kovalova and Callie Smith serving to begin game number 2. They take game 1 after being down. And all the momentum right now with Team Black.
Yeah, and what a great way to start. Come in, go outside hip on Lee Waters, covering the middle.
Lee Waters relentless that time.
Yeah, and the Waters, they've been here before.
0-1-1.
They've made more than their share of comebacks, and sometimes the other team comes back as well. So just settle into your game. Try and knock this at 1.
And that's a beauty from Annalee. So tied at 1. Look around the championship court here. See the crowds, Dave. And the crowds on the PPA Tour have just been awesome here in 2022.
Yeah, there's tons of people just showing up.
1-1-1.
They want to see the best players in the world, and they're putting on a show today.
There's another from the 15-year-old phenom.
So that's twice she's caught Callie Smith on the outside of her body. Callie's job on that side is to fill the middle, but got to keep her honest.
Annalee comes to help mom out at just the right time.
And again, at 15, you should not have that good of anticipation. Come on. She saw that ball going back to her mom, who was back.
3-1-1.
So that looked like a safe place for the ball to go. It was anything but.
Second serve.
Seen Lee try that a few times off a very low bouncing ball.
3-1-2.
Much rather see her do it when serving, because you don't lose a point.
Point.
And now it's 4-1, so the Waters once again starting off the game with a lead.
4-1-2.
You hear Don Stanley, our lead official for this match.
And the birthday boy.
They're singing a little happy birthday during the timeout.
Can't do it without these great referees, Drew.
They do such great work in the PPA.
Point.
Don Stanley, though, so emphatic in his calls. I love the energy that he brings.
Yes, everyone, here it comes.
5-1-2.
Boom.
Callie Smith, great lateral movement right above the kitchen.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Smith and Kovalova. Again, push them apart with the dinks and then win down the middle.
Point.
That's where the big swing does cost you a point.
2-5-1.
It's not going to change their pace or style.
Second serve.
Lee Waters just would not relent.
Yeah, and I think Kovalova would like that choice back. She went for one, didn't work. Reset, and let's find something we like a little better.
5-2-2 here. Still in game 2. Make it 5-3.
Timeout receiving team.
It was a roaring comeback for Kovalova and Smith in game 1. Waters do not want that to happen again. They lead by 2 here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, and all the things you got to think about on Championship Sunday is that idea of, hey, do we need a replay? So the timeout usage just a little different, so they choose to use one here. Okay. If they really need one later, then you really got to make a decision. And there it is. Happy birthday, Don Stanley. He's not just pictured, he's on the scoreboard as well.
He's not just a referee. He is a legend in the sport of pickleball. Think back to great referees. Remember in boxing, the great Mills Lane?
Yes.
The enthusiasm. He's kind of like the Mills Lane of pickleball.
He is. You know, everybody has their favorite NFL referee when they make a big call.
15 seconds, 1 timeout, 2 timeouts.
There's hockey referees. Wes Mccurley is a guy that really gives emphatic calls like that as well. And they're an important part of not just the rules, but of the show. And Don, again, I'm going to just shut up and let him tell us. Don, what's the score right now, man?
Well, they say you don't notice a referee unless he messes up. I disagree.
Yep.
I disagree.
3-5-2.
Don Stanley, an exception to that for sure. Happy birthday.
Side out. 5-3-1. Point.
That's not going to make it over.
So when you unwind a stack, meaning Callie wants to end up on the left side of the court,
6-3-1.
you're in a hurry on your return. And sometimes you'll miss it because you got to get there, especially with the firepower of the Waters.
Second serve.
Annalee really went for a lot on the poach, and then you heard immediately, go, Mom. She didn't say mom, but go. She said mom in her mind. Just couldn't quite get there, Annalee Waters.
Side out.
A little bit long from Annalee that time.
So a little ambitious on a couple of poaches there. We saw her earlier see one and destroy it. If she's fully extended, can't put the power on the ball.
Point.
And that time, miscommunication, one of the rarities for mother-daughter.
Yeah, I think Lee was letting it go.
4-6-1.
And Annalee is like, I think that's in, and stuck her paddle in there.
Point.
Couple mistakes now from Annalee. She has played great situational pickleball in 2022.
She's played great no matter where she's been found. Just a tremendous talent.
I mean, I watched Annalee during the week, and I believe a match that you called playing Callie Smith in singles, and just absolutely was dominant. So impressive.
Yeah, she loves that singles.
That one is in. And of all the great wins Annalee has had in 2022, Dave, I think the most impressive was taking apart Larry Fitzgerald that night in Phoenix whenever he was spotted a 9-0 lead.
And the serve.
She comes back and just wins 11-9. Incredible.
Yes, and you know, again, we talk about the growth of the sport and having a Michael Phelps and Larry Fitzgerald that night in Arizona playing. That just ends up wide.
And we had some celebrities here in Austin as well.
Yes, we had the presumptive.
We have a video challenge.
Okay, so we have a challenge here. So we talked about that. So while we look at that, I'll finish the celebrity thing. So Quinn Ewers, who was the #1 recruit in the country, started at Ohio State, then went in the portal and is going to be here in Austin. So he came out and played. And then Bill and Juliana Rancic. Bill was the original apprentice, and Juliana Rancic, famous for entertainment. They're both best-selling authors, and they're both pickleball players, so they know a third shot drop. So the celebrities, the youngsters, we have 10-year-olds competing here. We have a youth program, and we have a youth program in the pro final here with 15-year-old Annalee Waters.
Crowd getting into this point. Saw a couple angles there on the replay.
The challenge, they will not be charged a timeout. But if the
challenge from Kovalov and Smith.
The ball was out, they will be charged a timeout, folks. The referees have views of video footage.
It's going to be a huge call. 6-5, momentum going back and forth here.
Yeah, and you want it, if you're the Waters, you want it to be like, okay, we lost on the bad side, so now we got to defend the good side. And a 2-0 hole is a big hill to climb. Not saying they can't, but
Don Stanley once again conferring with his fellow officials.
And the other factor here, and I talked about it a little bit a minute ago, if the challenge is not upheld,
upon video review, the call is out. The challenge is upheld. The result is team of Waters serving at 6-5-2.
Okay.
There you go, folks. Let him in. Video challenge.
And the ball does land just wide, so
Time in.
Here we go.
6-5-2.
Mention those other officials: Roger Workman, James Otto, Jody Thurman, Howard Hepworth, also on the crew.
Side out.
Callie Smith, that was a bit of a knuckleball that time.
Yeah, you know, Annalee came crashing into the middle of the court. Go on the other side of her and just, Callie's always ready, paddle up. You want to see paddle up, no one does it better than she does.
That's why.
Second serve.
Went for a big inside out there, and if you don't finish that swing, it's going to stay where it started, and that stays well wide. It's hard to hit it wide on that side today with the wind pulling the ball back, but that one was well wide.
Side out.
Lee Waters picking her spot there, and it's sides out. Back to the Waters.
And that's that gray area on this side of the court.
6-5-1.
High at my shoulders. Do I let it go or not? Visually, it's out, but in today's wind, it's probably in.
That's long. So 7-5 here. Lee Waters, former tennis player at the University of South Carolina.
Yes.
Annalee Waters, tremendous soccer player as well as pickleball, of course. And that's long, so another one misfired.
Yeah, and again, those balls off the tape, you just want to compose yourself for half a second, because then it ends up on a platter, and it can be a fillet, but don't overcook it.
Well said. So lots of pickleball coming up here on Championship Sunday in the PPA from Austin, Texas, as Ben Johnson, Tyson Mcguffin will be on deck. Great to see Tyson a little bit later. And then mixed doubles, Riley Newman, Catherine Parenteau against Matt Wright, Lucy Kovalova. Can't wait for that. And it all concludes with Catherine Parenteau and Annalee Waters in our finale. 8-5 here, game 2. Make it 9-5.
Heard Annalee say, "Mom, out." Again, whenever I say mom, she doesn't really say mom.
9-5-1.
But she got to finish anyway.
Lucy trying to finish. Great defense by the Waters. How about this point?
Floor is lava.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, after all that, Kovalova is able to not just hit an ATP, but you can see that Annalee guards the line and she goes on the other side of her body. That is such a smart ATP. Don't just go straight down the line if they're there to defend it. Hit the open spot. See if that insanity can inspire a comeback here.
An absolute gem of a point here in Austin. Second serve now for Lee and Annalee.
Point.
And now a point away from evening this match up at a game apiece.
10-5-2.
Callie Smith finally able to finish.
You never know. Get that ball back and see how long you can keep it.
5-10-1.
Waters were not able to put it away in game 1. Don't want to follow suit here.
Again, let serves are replayed.
5-10-1.
So if you want to play that high-octane side, like Kovalova and Smith chose to do there, you're playing into a pace that the Waters like. So
that's a little bit wide.
So if you do it, just know that they will enjoy it, and then it's who's going to be better at it, and the elements will play a role in that.
Still 4 down for Kovalova and Smith. And now the Waters will get the serve back with another chance to win a game.
That's one of those, if you are the player on the left side and you are reaching and extended, let your partner reset that.
Just out for Annalee.
Try number 3.
10-6-2.
Annalee puts it up in the air for Callie. It's long. We are tied at a game apiece. So far, as entertaining as the women's doubles game can get.
Yeah, you know, you see the matchup and you're like, okay, this is going to be like a full day pass at the amusement park, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Pickleball Central's Austin Open continues when we return from the Elevation Athletic Club. Elevation Athletic Club in Austin, Texas, buzzing all week long, and certainly right now, Championship Sunday does not get much better than the battle we have going on right now. The Waters against Lucy Kovalova and Callie Smith.
Yes, and the far side has won the first 2. We'll see if that continues.
The average shots per rally, 10. It's had lots of long points. Certainly has been a battle of will so far. I will add too, Dave, that the wind has settled down just a little bit here in Austin.
Agreed. During the men's match, it was significantly more gusty, and that's even harder to play with. If it's the same, you can kind of get calibrated. Gusty is harder to deal with, especially in the midcourt, to be able to reset the ball at the right pace.
Point.
Lucy can't return that. It's a point and make it 2-0.
Yeah, in between sliding and setting up a backhand, and just the right pace of the ball there by Lee Waters.
2-0-2.
Callie Smith says, I got this.
Point.
And there's the clank that is what typically happens, and the ball coming across. Ideally, I'd love that to be Callie's ball, just so Kovalova isn't reaching as it's coming across. But they've had balls beat them down the middle without either paddle being there, so I get the once you're engaged.
Good start here for Lee and Annalee.
Such good footwork there by Annalee Waters to take that attack away and turn it into an attack of her own. And not a big swing, just very compact. Use their pace. Especially on this side, you got the wind helping you, don't need to take big swings.
Point.
5-0 out of the gates here in game 3.
Yeah, we are perilously close to a timeout. And there it is.
So Lee and Annalee Waters right now playing their game to perfection. Kovalova and Smith looking for answers. 5-0, game 3. Mentioned the great color coordination from the Waters family. Fila, see that F. More and more you're seeing that in this great game of pickleball, Dave.
Yeah, they just literally signed with them. And again, love to see all the support from a variety of places for this sport, ranging from Hertz, our title sponsor, Pickleball Central, Fila. And that catches Lucy Kovalova there as well. Got Baird Wealth Management. It's so wonderful to see the support because people know that this community is growing. Their loyalty to those that support it is significant. Get involved now and have all of those consumers be loyal to you as well.
6-0-2 here. Seven points in a row for Team Waters. And the sponsors right there, Dave, the ones you were referring to, it's one to have the athletic sponsorship, but when you got guaranteed rate going all in, you know you're onto something.
Yes, and as I love to say, you don't get extra points for hitting the guaranteed rate sign, but love to have them right there on the net. And just as we talk about the net plays a role in that serve, but my goodness, what a start.
0-7-1.
Dave, you were shaking your head on that
Just
point.
the individual hand speed of Callie Smith there, who was beat on the left side of her body and was able to get the paddle there.
1-7-1.
Obscene. Didn't have a huge impact in the point, but it would have if she doesn't get there. Unbelievable.
And Lee Waters.
Second serve.
Right there, second serve now. 7-1 here, game 3.
Well, you can see that the Waters are just playing their game so beautifully, and because Annalee has that huge two-handed backhand in the middle, they're able to slide and lease its forehand when she slides to the left. And if you want to go in the middle, you deal with the Annalee two-hander. They're protecting Lee when returning by not making her come flying across the court, so they're happy to play this way as well on the returning side.
Side out.
Initially called deep, and then they said, no, it's good. So the Waters were only taking the big yell. They didn't get the come on, even though the ball was indeed good.
Chance to add to their lead here. Make this game 3 a runaway.
Second serve.
Not that time, though, for Lee.
7-1-2.
Kovalova and Smith trying to dig in here.
And they're trying to dig in with a rare side switch for them. So now Kovalova is on the left.
8-1-2.
This is only when things are not going well do they go to this. Certainly capable, but it changes a lot of things from a point construction standpoint, meaning Lucy's got to be aggressive in the middle with the forehand.
Point.
And just the precision on those dinks that are a millimeter, Drew, over the net makes it very difficult to counter that on that side, because the wind is not going to help you when you are trying to lift it up off of a ball with that amount of pace. It's going to knock it down, and as it did right there.
Kovalova and Smith clearly looking for answers at the moment. Matt Wright gets up to go have a word. We're back in a moment. Beautiful day here, Austin, Texas. Drew Felios with Dave Fleming. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. Lee and Annalee Waters trying to pull away here. And women's doubles, and on the brink of going up 2-1.
Time in. 9-1-2.
And that's a good timeout for Kovalova and Smith.
Yeah, and they went back to trying to play, make Lee Waters hit a lot of balls. Let's really force them to earn it.
Second serve.
Great deep return there.
1-2.
And again, that's a corner of the court Kovalova hasn't been at.
Side out.
So it's just both of those balls. Callie Smith hasn't been trying to hit inside-out backhands on that side and wasn't set there.
9-1-1.
You just got to get into, okay, I'm playing the right side, different shots, even though it's the same game.
Second serve.
Kovalova waiting for that one.
And if you're the Waters, you'd love to stamp an 11-1 up there and really put doubt in your opponent. You know, they get back 4 or 5. It's like, okay.
That one's wide.
Side out.
Offer paddle, that ball is straight, but the wind ain't straight. Pulled that ball a foot wide.
1-1.
The hand signals from Annalee. Smith and Kovalova have come back once in a game. That was game 1. This would be a very steep mountain to climb here, but that's a good way to start doing it.
Yeah, so that's what you've got to do as the left side players. If you dink wide, you show as she comes back that maybe that middle of the court's open, but as long as you slide back, you get candy, and she finished.
Point.
Annalee can't return it, so another point. Couple
team,
quickies here for Kovalova and Smith, and the Waters family's not going to mess around. They'll take a timeout. That's one thing that Annalee has become really good at, taking timeouts at the perfect times.
Because you have a very emotional team, and I say that in the most positive of ways. Kovalova and Smith like to get energy. We saw that comeback. Arms shooting in the air. We're coming back. The crowd loves that. The Waters want the crowd loving them. We're not letting them get on 4 or 5 of those in a row, even though we're up pretty big here. So let's calm that down. That's what they're doing right here. Annalee is not even thinking about singles right now, but once that match comes up, and that's the conclusion of this event, it's going to be a beauty.
Kovalova was thinking Ernie. Rather Smith. Annalee staying on her feet. Callie Smith trying to finish. Lee Waters up against the net. The run continues.
And when you make a side switch like this and things start to come together, now you feel confident in that choice instead of it just being a strategic response. Now it's like, okay, maybe this is the way we need to play today.
Second serve.
Perfect pace on that by Lee Waters.
Four 9-2.
And that's wide. So side out back to the Waters here.
Yeah, when you lob from that side into the wind, I'd love to see them just chase it, you know, take advantage of the opponent retreating and take the kitchen. You're going to have to probably volley a decent overhead, but it's part of the strategy.
Point.
So another point here, making it 10-4, and it's game point for Lee and Annalee Waters.
And you see a last-second switch as they want Annalee in front of Callie Smith, who's back in the spot she started the match and unfortunately misses a dink there.
So Lee and Annalee Waters, not nearly as much drama as game number 2. They take it 11-4, and now a game away from taking women's doubles at this Austin Open. Always entertaining, always thrilling. Women's doubles on Championship Sunday continues.
Like I'm in the big leagues, told him that I gotta go, dog.
Callie Smith, Lucy Kovalova must win game 4 here in Austin. Annalee Waters and Lee Waters playing at the top of their game.
Game 4, time.
Yeah, looking to make it 2 PPA wins in a row.
And look at that stat. Nearly 12 shots per rally in game 3.
And that was longer than the average from the first 2, so a little more patient points.
Whoever wins this certainly going to earn it.
Side out.
And keeping Annalee honest on the right side of her body is a good idea. You just have to keep the ball down and not try to do too much with the next ball. She's quick enough to get there, but you can't let her get comfortable in the middle.
Point. One, 0-1. Point.
Callie Smith can't put it over. It's 2-0.
Yeah, just the little bit of footsteps from Annalee over there. You know, then you try to make your ball just a little better, so it's not attackable by young Annalee.
Point.
Boy, and a couple of sloppy, unexpected errors, and they're going to quickly call timeout here.
Gets a little contagious, doesn't it?
And that is the last virus you want to get on a pickleball court. Again, they came together as a team and won and won and won. Okay. Throw away these first 3 points. Let's find our game and find it now. Let's get a nice deep return. Let's get the ball where we want it. Do we want to keep Annalee off the net? And then we're going to give it to her. Do we want to force Lee to do it? Let's just hit the best return we have here and get into this.
Hung in. 3-0-1. You're good here. You have 1. 3-0, sorry, you good.
Birthday boy getting everybody squared away with their score.
It's 4-0 here. Kovalova and Smith trying to get a side out. And that's long.
And those are just can't happen choices right now, especially on defense or return when it does ring the register.
Play or recall. 5-0-2.
But when you're down, you try to do a little too much sometimes.
Can't get it all back with 1. They are digging themselves a hole here, Dave.
Yeah, and you can see that, you know, now they tried to put Lucy back on the left side, and Callie just off the line there. That's a ball she'd clobber if comfortable.
6-0-2.
Phenomenal get.
It's long.
And all of the choices made by the Waters, right? Like Lee hits that knowing it's coming back, but she expects a counter somewhere.
Gotta go.
And was ready with the forehand to finish that and then let the ball go. The wind's at their back.
7-0-2.
7 in a row here in game 4. That's in. Annalee pulls one out of the hat.
And again, that's that. Now on this side, you got to defend places that are usually out, but the wind keeps a ball like that in, and everything that can go wrong for Smith and Kovaleva is right now.
Just got to get that side out. Easier said than done right now against this pair of mother-daughter.
Point.
Pushing Dink to the side, then pushing Dink to the other
Timeout
side.
receiving team 902.
They've had to use both timeouts without scoring. That's the level on the other side of the court, though. Yes, there were errors, but the frustration obviously is there.
So right now you're coaching Lucy and Callie. What do you tell them?
Okay, we can't score. There's no 9-pointer. The guaranteed rate sign does not get extra points. So let's go. What return do I want to hit where I am going to do something significant with the fourth ball? Let's make Lee hit a backhand. Okay, if we want to give them trouble in the middle, whatever we've talked about is the best return that Callie Smith has in her paddle. It has to happen here, and we got to stay on the line. Don't retreat. We're getting pulled around all over the place, and make smart choices. If it's in the yellow zone, we talk about green, yellow, red. If it's in the yellow zone, we ain't pulling the trigger right now. We got to play a confident, solid point, and then get our rhythm going when we get the ball back.
Lucy and Callie just called their last time out. Wow, what else can you say?
You can sometimes just say, I don't care what the coach says, that you tip your cap to the other side. And we could have a pickle here.
10-02. Side out.
And on championship point, the ball just catches the line. All right, stranger things have happened, but you got to get several here.
Defense just flawless from Lee and Annalee right now.
The whole game. Okay. That's what it takes, so grind. Let's make Annalee Waters hit 25 balls a point. Just grind.
Saw the smiles from Callie and Lucy. They realize what they're up against here. Just sit back, have some fun, and just let it rip, right?
Exactly. What a privilege it is to get to play. Go be big, Lucy Kovaleva, like you were right there.
Second serve.
Hate to have that happen when you just were so heroic on the shot before.
Callie cannot lift it over, so 10-2 serve back to the Waters with a chance to take the championship.
And that's another one reaching, then trying to pull that ball. Just tough to execute.
Team Waters takes their game to new heights here in Austin.
And that's 2 PPA championships in a row for them. They win in Florida, and then they come to Texas and win. And the way they won is interesting because they had game 1 in hand and lost it, and were able to put that aside and rattle off 3 in a row. That is really hard to do mentally because you're thinking about what was lost. Congratulations to the Waters.
The mother-daughter magic continues here on the PPA Tour. We'll talk to Annalee and Lee when we come back. Women's doubles champions. What a tournament and what a championship Sunday it has been for Lee and Annalee Waters, the mother-daughter duo. Do it again here in Austin. Let's check in with Hannah Johns.
Thanks, Drew. So excited to be here with these ladies. You just took the title. Big congratulations to you both. You lost the first game, but you came back as absolute fire. What was working so well?
Well, we knew it was 5 games, so we knew there was a lot of pickleball left to be played, and we were ahead a lot in the first game. So we were just sticking to our game plan and trying to stay positive, and that's what we did.
You know, pickleball is cited one of the few sports that's cited the women's divisions are most fun to watch. We've been told over and over and over again by viewers. What do you think makes women's doubles so fun?
I think we're a little more aggressive and we get into a lot of those firefights, which are super fun to watch. And so let's keep it up, ladies.
Absolutely. Connor Ogden, please make your way down to the court with that trophy for these ladies now.
Lee and Annalee, congratulations on yet another PPA title. I know this goes back to back, and if I know the Waters, I know a shopping spree is right around the corner. We're going straight to Red Rock after this event, and Vegas is a stop on the way. And so congratulations on your title here at the Pickleball Central Austin Open presented by Club Corp. So congratulations, ladies, and thank you so much for coming out and playing today.
Take it away, Drew.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah Johns. That is one good-looking trophy here at the Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Corp. What else can you say? 2 champions that have brought a new dimension to this great sport. Ben Johns, just 22 years old already, called the GOAT by so many pickleball experts, including yourself, Dave. Yep. He has done it all, and he's got so much more to offer.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for all the other players when you go, well, he's certainly going to retire soon, right? No, 22. And then there's Tyson Mcguffin, who has been a force in singles for a long time. Got his first PPA title up in Minnesota and was thrilled to finally get that notch in his belt. He's going to be barking. He's going to be getting the crowd on his side. He's going to be hitting big forehands. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how the wind affects this match, because now we're talking just 2 people out there on the court. How do they adjust as individuals to the wind and the sun?
Seen some classic battles. These 2 great examples of the sport in the past. Ben Johns has won the majority of those, but Tyson has also had his moments. One that sticks out, the match in honor of his father that he was able to pull out. So emotional in that one, but we've seen these 2 battle, and Tyson Mcguffin, just can't say enough about the way he represents and the style that he brings.
Everything about it's great. He's active in the community. He does youth programs. He does camps and clinics, and he is somebody you want to learn from.
Well, Ben Johns with a uniform change. A few hours ago, if you're just joining us, he was victorious in men's doubles with brother Colin over Riley Newman and Matt Wright. Now it's mano a mano. Tyson Mcguffin on the other side. Crowd still packed in here at the Elevation Athletic Club in Austin. Our referee for this event is Courtney Johnson. Anita Johnson Flores is our second official. Tracking official is Norman Clinkscales. And on video, Roger Workman and Chris Gallen. Underway here, men's singles. Tyson Mcguffin scoring first.
1-0. All recall. 1-0.
And with the men back out on the court, the wind again has picked up a little bit to where it was for men's doubles.
Does Mother Nature know something? It's hilarious. It's exactly true.
2-0.
And Ben John's wondering, it was just calm just a minute ago, and
2-0.
here we go again. He and Colin adjusted beautifully in our first match to that. And how about that shot from Tyson?
It's a great start from Mcguffin, and emotional player. Crowd, come with me. Be a part of the Mcguffin train. He wants that.
Oh, what the shot that time by Ben.
Yeah, great little angle there from Ben, and the cat and mouse are all of the play at the kitchen line in singles. A little more difficult with the wind, and
Side out.
he got all of that one. Even into the wind, you can hit it deep.
Side out.
And you can see Mcguffin with that hand motion of down, down, down. You got to get on top of that ball and hit down on a ball like that. He'll get that corrected.
Another one goes wide for Ben Johns.
And he's messing with the paddle a little bit over there, just trying to get it just the way he wants.
3-0.
Gorgeous forehand from Mcguffin, and in the singles game here, the wind at your back is going to produce a lot of short returns, which is going to give you opportunities on this ball right here.
Side out.
Great job by Johns of staying with the ball, sliding in that wind that has clearly favors the males.
Oh, how about that shot from the #1 player in the world?
And John's just not happy with the paddle at all. So this is a equipment timeout 100%.
Ben Johns will go into the bag, see what he pulls out here. At the break, 4-1, Tyson leads. The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Club Core, the world leader in private clubs. Baird, official wealth management partner of the PPA. By Guaranteed Rate, guaranteed home at a guaranteed rate. Duper, make every match count. Select Medical, improving the quality of life. Margaritaville, official lodging partner. By Fit Fine Wine, live your fit. And Volley Seltzer, good, clean, fun.
Time in. 1-4.
Ben Johns serving to Tyson Mcguffin, trailing 4-1 here. Game number 1. Hannah Johns was right next to Ben as he went to the bag. Hannah, what'd you find out?
That's right. I just saw Ben go over to his bag. He was having some trouble with the lead tape slipping off the edges of that paddle, and he went and taped up the edges of the paddle to make sure it stays in place, to make sure that his grip and the feel of the paddle is consistent throughout this match.
Good stuff, Hannah.
Side out.
And that's the showman that is Tyson Mcguffin right there. Flicks his paddle in jest. Courtney Johnson, the great referee from the Dallas area, wondering, oh, okay, we're just having some fun here. And that's the other thing about having events all over the country. We have great referees that maybe can't travel as much as some others. So a Courtney Johnson gets to come down here and call a game, and so deserving of that privilege and opportunity.
So from Hannah's report, too, as you get a look at Courtney, more the tape than the paddle. I thought that was interesting. Just in, got to go to the ATP, but can't get back to the other side.
Just the angle of the backhand before the ATP, obscene. What a get by McGuffin, but there ain't another person on the court.
Skim the line.
Side out.
Just wide.
Yeah, back to the tape story. The feel of the paddle changes by the way you put that tape on there, and these guys are so specific. Ben, mechanical engineer, University of Maryland. Like, he knows the value of every last square inch of tape he would add to that paddle. And if it's coming off a little bit or it's not the way he wants it, he can tell immediately. And it affects the game. It affects you certainly mentally. Like, why am I messing with this so much? So, got to have the equipment just the way you want it.
Oh, right at Ben that time.
Fault. Left foot.
And a foot fault going to be called on McGuffin.
Side out.
Tyson again entertaining the crowd just a bit. Ben gets paid off for taking one there.
Side out. 3-6.
And that's the cat and mouse singles game that Ben Johns just, he takes your soul because he moves you all over. He goes full Geppetto mode, cross back, moving the strings, and then hits a beautiful clean winner like that.
Who do you think plays Ben best in singles? Would it be a Zane Navratil? Would it be Tyson? Would it be J.W. Johnson who's emerged? Yeah. Who's the biggest threat to that throne?
Yeah, all those names you mentioned bring different challenges to Ben, and you know, he has lost a couple singles matches this year, so it's, you know, some combination of what you just mentioned have been able to do that, and certainly J.W. Johnson has performed very well in 2022.
ATP down the line.
And there's the McGuffin show. He hits a just ridiculous ball here, curls it, and keeps it in. And the wind is not helping you on that ball either, so that's the pace has to be just right.
Comes up just short on this one. Side out, but McGuffin with a 7-5 lead here, game one.
Yeah, and that's where he wants to keep putting more and more fuel on the McGuffin fire there. He'd love to have made that ball.
Oh, Ben just takes a little off.
And the net's just not a friend to McGuffin there at all. And there's sorry, not sorry hand there.
Oh, wow. It's as good a shot as you can hit in that spot.
Yeah, we see that in tennis a lot, you know, a nice big return that is in essence a winner. It's harder to do in pickleball and very hard to do against John's great ball by McGuffin.
Side out.
Yeah, and there's that mid-court calibration. How much do I need to give it? Put it in the jet stream and make it drop safely. Not quite enough off that Selkirk Labs paddle of Tyson Mcguffin.
Ben Johns within a point.
Side out.
Second serve here. Make it side out to McGuffin.
And that's a ball that Johns said, I rolled that perfect. Boom. Wind just took all that top spin and threw it wide. And again, the greatest showman will even redo the advertising.
Men's singles pro here on Championship Sunday. Drew Felios, Dave Fleming. Austin, Texas, and Pickleball Central's Austin Open. Been a great day thus far. Johns dropped it once, tried to do it again. Net not having it.
No, and that's one of those where Mcguffin played the win, and he's like, played the win on a ball that went, yes, left it just outside the line. The wind brought it in. Tremendous ball.
Side out.
Got him going both ways that time. Vintage Ben Johns. Really, really entertaining game one.
Side out.
John's just incredulous that what he saw pull his ball wide on the right side didn't pull that one in. Just a little too much pace.
Side out. I didn't see it out. 6-8.
Oh. Goes to the lob. Will it pay off? Just a little bit long, and Tyson loves it.
Really making Johns work there.
8-6. Point. Nine, 6.
2 points away now for Mcguffin.
Oh.
Side out.
Don't even try and get that one if you're Mcguffin.
No, just filth. Because Mcguffin hit a drop that on normal days is halfway in the net, but it stayed at that same height, and the wind took it right over, and then Johns had an answer.
Side out.
Right now, Tyson Mcguffin just working it.
Just
Other
too
side
good.
Out.
Too good.
9-6. Side out.
He is mixing up his speeds a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's one of those that Mcguffin wants to bounce, and again, wind takes it a little far, and then Johns has just the right pace and angle on that backhand.
Not having it.
And just a great read on the ball to be in position, and then just compact swing. Let that work.
Side out.
The shorter points you think favor Mcguffin rather than Johns?
Yeah, I think,
6-9.
you know, it's the who's dictating more than the length of the point. Like there's a short point, but it's that roll of Johns that can really pay dividends for him. You know, I think for Mcguffin, what he's done really well is take advantage of the side that he's on and press the pace with his ball and take advantage of the short ball. So impressive job so far by Mcguffin. Calls timeout to get this under control.
Well, you see who is standing by with Hannah Johns. Hannah, take it away.
Thanks, Drew. I'm here courtside with Melissa Mccurley, president of pickleballtournaments.com. You've been running logistics all weekend long. Talk about how pickleball is just getting younger and younger.
It definitely is. 8 years ago when I came into the game, about 80% of the players were over 60 competing in pickleball competition. 4 years later, that number was down to 60%. And then looking at where we are today, it's about 50% of the players are under now the age of 50 and over the age of 50.
Wow, we love to see pickleball getting younger and younger. We also heard it's in colleges now.
It is. So here in Texas, one of the ladies helping me here, Mary Beth Henthorne, she's also director of pickleball over at Texas A&M University. There was a gentleman here with his TCU pickleball shirt on here. I started talking about it, and they actually have a competition between the two colleges. And then the colleges have their own competitions within the college as well, team competitions, for example. So really exciting to see it starting to get involved in the colleges. That'll just help it get younger too.
Absolutely, and you've been out here working all week long with your team. How's the Austin Open been for you from the logistical side?
It's been a fantastic place to be. One, it didn't rain, okay? So the weather's been really, really good. It's been breezy at times. We have 28 courts running here over 4 days. We started on Thursday. We have 955 players competing. We will have run 1,598 matches when we complete here this evening on 28 courts. So it's been a great time. It's been a great host facility here at Club Corps. They've done a really good job of transforming this, and the PPA, right, with Club Corps, transforming this tennis center into a pickleball pickleball tournament. And it's just been outstanding to see from venue after venue the transformation. It's truly amazing.
Absolutely, so impressive. Thanks for all your work, Melissa. Drew?
Great stuff as always from Hannah Johns and Melissa Mccurley. Game point here in game one. Tyson Mcguffin trying to get the advantage. Ben Johns saying, give me that serve right back.
Played a good point. Just a little better on the other side. You can see just such a compact angle. No way for Mcguffin to track that one down despite his foot speed.
This is certainly not out of reach of the world's #1 player. It's 8-10.
And not after those two lasers. Great job by Mcguffin being able to get that first one. That all started with a floaty return that gave Ben a chance to crack.
Timeout's called. Score is 8-10.
All right.
So both players here will go to the sideline. Tyson Mcguffin, Ben Johns, two of the elite players in the men's game.
I like that timeout by Mcguffin. I had a chance. He played a great point. I just returned one in the middle. He hit two beautiful forehands.
Time in 8-10. Side out.
Comes up short. Mcguffin now with a chance to take game one again. Second game point here.
And you just feel so good about calling a timeout and getting a missed third. Like, okay, let's go win.
Oh, wow.
And again, just obscene reach by Johns. Mcguffin has had two chances and played very beautiful points. Just a little, look at that, just a little bit better by Johns.
How does he do it?
The filth level is 1 million on that because everyone in the building thinks he's coming around the post on that, and from the same paddle position pulls it back cross court.
Let's see if Tyson can recover. That's the type of point, Dave, that takes the wind out of your sails. Guffin right now is on the run. Not at a 10.
And it is taking every bag of tricks, including what had to be a dislocated wrist for 4 seconds on the point a couple minutes ago.
10.
Just unbelievable.
Here comes Johns again.
And
up a point here in game one.
And what looks like a chance to smoke a ball is just a beautiful inside-out winner. And now guess who's got a game point?
Tyson Mcguffin probably thinking, what do I have to do? That's why Ben Johns will take game one. Incredible.
just obscene level of singles, and what Mcguffin required Ben Johns to do to win that game. He played 2 tremendous points at game point, and Mcguffin frustrated that he couldn't finish that out, but it took next level pickleball to take game 1 for Ben Johns.
The Pickleball Central Austin Open, powered by Club Core, is brought to you by Pickleball Central, your pickleball superstore. By Hertz. Hertz puts you in the driver's seat. Hyper Ice. Do what you love more. Gearbox, the official paddle of the Austin Open. And Durafast 40, the official ball of the PPA.
Game 2, gentlemen.
Just when you think Ben Johns can't take his game to another level, he takes it about 3 notches above that. What we just saw, about as good as we've ever seen the world's best.
Yeah, and it started with that ridiculous ATP. Oh, no, it isn't. NTP, not around the post. And then just another point after point of such high quality, giving nothing at crunch time. And Mcguffin's just got to go, all right, it was there. We saw the Waters do exactly that. They had opportunities and then put together a really nice run. He's got to do the same.
Got to somehow shake it off. That's one way to do it.
Pumping up the crowd as he is known to do, and it's fun when you've been chasing ridiculous angles yourself to give Johns a taste of his own medicine.
He can string some points together. I think the crowd would get on his side. Of course, when you're the world's best, winning again and again, the crowd always loves the underdog.
2-0.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think Ben was going to let that ball go wide. Wind held it in, and then he had to just take a stab instead of taking that ball out of the air.
11 clean winners for Johns in game 1.
Point.
And Mcguffin on the board here in game 2.
1-2.
Oh, how low to the net. And at an angle like that, that is just ridiculous.
And the shot before that is a ball that people would generally volley short. He goes deep with that to keep Mcguffin back, and then just untouchable.
How many times do you have to practice a shot like that, or does it just come natural after the
I don't
amount
think
of
he
pickleball?
practices that one a lot.
Wow.
That's just unbelievable hands. But he does drill. I mean, let's not, like, we're seeing the work of both gentlemen who pour themselves into their work off the court. So you're confident to hit a ball like that. So Mcguffin is confident to hit the forehands and serves you're seeing that have made this such a great match.
Tyson has him going there.
And to play this caliber of singles, it's the gym, it's the cardio, it's the recovery, it's the nutrition, all of that, or forget about playing this well.
Point.
A couple points now for Tyson. He trails by 1.
Yeah, and both are missed returns, so you love any and all donations in the donation box are welcome.
That one's going to go long.
Oh, it was in.
Oh. Surprised Tyson did not try and swing at that.
Side out.
Johns throws his hands up in the air there. The wind been playing tricks with the ball all day long.
2-3.
And again, Ben Johns glancing at the paddle.
3-3. Side out.
Sometimes going right at your opponent in singles is a great choice because they're going to be leaning one way or the other to guess and cover. Go where they are. You can either tag them or... Great choice by Ben Johns there.
Side out.
Side out now to Tyson Mcguffin, a chance to take his first lead here in this game 2. He had game 1
3-3.
at hand before a roaring comeback from Ben Johns.
Side out.
And again, the lateral movement that singles requires in pickleball, it's not turn and sprint run like tennis. It's side to side that you have to cover quickly. These two do it better than just about anybody.
Oh, nice.
Side out.
You have to hit so many of those
Yes.
to beat Ben Johns. You just have to.
Yeah. And there's a nice clean winner. We had a stat earlier. Beautiful ball by Mcguffin.
Because he'll come back with shots just like that. That just you can't do anything about.
Yeah, in the last few minutes have been a pitcher's duel. No one can get any runners on base here.
3-3.
Double bouncer.
Ready for that lob.
Yeah, I love the thought of that, just the execution. If he gets that up and over, Johns is going to have to run that down after have already gone up and gotten that ball that just barely went over the net.
Point.
And the
Timeout call by the
Selkirk
receivers for his
Labs
5-3.
paddle has hit the ground. That means timeout, Trey.
So 5-3 your score. Game number 2. Men's singles, Ben Johns over Tyson Mcguffin. Top men's player in the world, Ben Johns, going at it with Tyson Mcguffin. 5-3 game 2 here in Austin, Texas. Drew Felios with Dave Fleming here on Championship Sunday. Ben Johns continues to come up with big shots like that.
Yeah, and just finding the right pace on that angle to be able to get it away from Mcguffin. Too good.
6-3.
Another drop shot. Not worth chasing.
Yeah, and again, you see, we talked about it in the doubles.
7-3.
Ben's not in a hurry when he's ahead in a point. Just make them work.
Side out.
Mcguffin wants to get that energy back, get that growl back. Let's see if he can come up with a couple of those. Hit a big serve, hit a big forehand.
Have not seen that at all here in game 2.
Side out.
Unfortunately, the big forehand was going to be ideal for the tennis-sized court, but certainly not in the 44 by 20, which is a pickleball court. Oh.
Point.
Add to the clean winner slide. Oh my goodness, that ball shaped perfectly, and then diving down, Wendell hold it in on that left sideline. Great ball by Johns there.
Last 5 points to Ben Johns. And a 5-point lead. Tyson needed that one.
Yeah, and anything he can take out of the air, and he's great in doubles at this too, of being on the line, take that ball out of the air. That takes time away. It takes the anticipation away. Great ball by Mcguffin there. Good night.
Side out.
Well, Ben Johns recently moved here to Austin. I'm not sure, Dave, everybody knows that here in the community. I think eventually they will.
Yes, they don't realize they have an adopted son right in front of them. Many do, but many do not. So they're going to be treated to seeing him at facilities throughout the Austin area. And, you know, Texas in general is becoming more and more of a hotbed. I'm lucky enough to live up in the Dallas area. Courtney Johnson, our referee, is from that area as well. So pickleball growing leaps and bounds. And it's not just the Sun Belt, though. That's the thing that's different about pickleball now. You got New York clubs going in. You've got all of these new places. Indianapolis, they're looking at something big. So it's exciting to see that. Tweener.
Tyson goes wide.
And after Tweener lob track down on a ball that hit the millimeter back edge of a perfect lob, there it is. But the beauty of that is he didn't hit it in a panicked way. He was able to stay in the point with the Tweener. It wasn't just for show, and that's the beauty of it.
So now the last 6 points to Ben Johns. The run continues. He leads 9-3 in game 2. We talked about hometown influence, though, Ben Johns, and the effect that he's going to have on this Austin community with his brother Colin Johns. I remember growing up in the Tampa area when I was in high school. There was Jennifer Capriati, who was training nearby Saddlebrook. Jim Courier was another guy who was on a French Open run at the time, a couple in a row, one of the top-ranked players in the world. And that makes young people look up to these players, want to be like them, play like them, and the trickle-down effect continues.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got the Johnson teenagers. Georgia Johnson won a bronze yesterday. J.W. Johnson's done very well. And then you've got 15-year-old Annalee Waters, the best female in the world. You've got a 22-year-old or 23-year-old with Ben Johns here. You've got his older brother, so you see the family coming together. You've got these clubs showing up in colleges. My daughter just started the pickleball club at Oklahoma, so it's coming at all geographies and at all ages, and that's why this sport is on absolute fire, and this is what the best players in the world look like.
9-3 advantage Johns here in game 2. Serve will go back to McGuffin. How about that win yesterday in women's doubles? Andrea Koop, Georgia Johnson come back, get it done over Irvin and Parento.
Yep, very impressive. Can you put a little run together and just, you know, it's hard to make Ben uncomfortable, but you can certainly get the crowd behind you. Energy means points for McGuffin.
Side out.
That return's just too good.
Side out back to Johns here, leading 9-4.
9-4.
McGuffin doing his best to anticipate, but even then, the shot's just so pinpoint.
Yeah, the ball has to bounce when you're guessing like he was there. And if it's up, then you just don't have the time to recover, and here's a game point.
That's wide.
Side out.
So Tyson had 2 game points in game 1, wasn't able to finish them. Just saved one there of himself. Now, can he dig out?
And getting some points here would go a long way, even if he doesn't win the game.
Side out.
Just didn't stay all the way down on that forehand, just faded out. Didn't get that wind help maybe he hoped for.
10-4. Side out.
Okay,
Both
2
players
saved.
trading side outs here. Third of 5 matches today. We've got mixed doubles next, and then women's singles rounding out the day. Nicely done from Tyson.
And when you go down the line and you get a ball back that is attackable, just going back down the line, because most people anticipate, I was over there, I'm going to go over there. You don't even have to hit the ball hard. It's a very smart play by Mcguffin. All players of pickleball can learn from that one. Look at the wind hold that in.
Oh,
Side out.
tough angle for an ATP.
Yeah, it was the dreaded HTP. Hit the post, so good try.
10-5.
And that is wide. So Ben Johns takes game number 2 as well, 11-5. 2 games up on Tyson Mcguffin as we head to the 3rd here in Austin.
Yeah. And here's that last ball. We'll be right back. Can he win 3 in a row?
Pickleball Central's Austin Open on Championship Sunday. Ben Johns up 2-0 on Tyson Mcguffin with Dave Fleming. I'm Drew Felios. The very first Pickleball Central Austin Open as this sport and this tour continues to grow. Dave, I can't believe, once again, the crowd at this event throughout the week. Just incredible.
Yeah, and they're getting a treat today. Men's doubles was a great battle, and you saw in the middle of that, and I talked to Colin Johns afterwards, they just decided to go full attack. We talked about it on the broadcast. Will they do it? They did it, and they went nuts. The women had the people on their seat, out of their seats, above their seats. They were flying, loving it so much. And then this level of this singles match is outrageous. Mcguffin is playing really well. Had 2 game points to show for it, but not game wins.
Yeah, not getting that win in game 1 really kind of carried over to game 2. But you got to look at each game now, especially when it's elimination. Wipe the slate clean. Just see what you can do against the world's best here.
0-0.
It's an all-day thing here. And it's super close.
Side out.
There's another gem from Ben and a sight out here to start.
Yeah, and when you get that sort of floaty return from that far side where the ball's going to hold up, Mcguffin's got to get up there and find an angle. Johns was ready.
Side out. Zero.
Beautiful.
And there it is, taking advantage of the shorter return, and then what a beautiful little flick roll there. So I think Mcguffin can look at that. Let's press forward, hit a big serve, and then really hit an aggressive third when serving. He's there.
Well covered. Oh, just timing it up perfectly.
Mcguffin will never, ever give up, ever. That's why he is a champion.
That time on the offensive, gets the side out once more.
Yeah, beautiful stick volley there.
There it is. And a pump of the fist of Tyson Mcguffin. He may have something working here in game 3.
Yeah, the net got involved there, and both players able to deal with that. And then again, beautiful angle from Mcguffin.
Side out. 2.
There's another winner.
And to be able to anticipate that and be under control, and again, it's that lateral move. The minute, if you turn and run, you're never going to be able to hit a ball. You got to slide. Great athleticism from McGuffin there.
Just grazes the line.
I think a little wide.
Okay. Is the toughest place to be after it's all said and done in a tournament? Second place. Or, no, you take your money.
Oh.
I'll take that every time if it's there.
Yes, in order of hardest, losing 2 in a row.
Okay.
Finishing 4th, just off the podium. You know, you get to this, you know you're playing somebody great. Of course you want to win, but from our teams that weren't able to get over the top earlier today, that's a heck of an achievement to get silver. So I think it comes down to, did you play at your highest level, and what beat you? Was it your opponents or was it yourself?
Good battle here. And McGuffin has the final say.
So I think you have to reconcile what those things are and what your goals were. Maybe you were coming off an injury and you just wanted to get reps. 2 and 2 would be great, but you know, if you're playing on Sunday on the PPA Tour, you have had one heck of a run in any medal.
Side out.
Bronze is a heck of a run against this caliber of opponent that just keeps getting better and better.
Used to cover a swimmer named Robert Margalis, who was 3 times in 3rd place at the Olympic trials. You know what that gets you.
Yeah. Pat in the back.
Never made the trip. Tyson Mcguffin here, a 4-0 lead, trying to get a game on his side here in men's singles.
4-0.
How about McGuffin there?
And there he is, pressing the pace, taking advantage of that first chance to get ahead in the point, and then goes to the body that we talked about before and gets one that then he can hit easily into the open court. Oh.
Another winner.
Just beautiful forehand from McGuffin there.
6 straight.
Side out.
But he's doing what I would like to see, which is if the returns are in the middle of the court, we got to go. And you're going to make errors like you did there, but keep pressing that pace.
Point.
First point for Johns here in this game 3.
1-6. Side out.
Johns right now looks a little bit flat. Body language. This looks like he's kind of cruising here momentarily.
And it's taken a lot to get the lead that he has. And McGuffin, to his credit and his fighter mentality, is pushing back.
6-1.
Up against the net that time. 7-1 now for McGuffin.
And you see McGuffin taking the not a timeout. Let that ball roll back to the advertising. Slowly get over there. Don't have to be in a hurry.
Around the post for McGuffin. And the crowd loves it.
Just ridiculous shot here again, the foot speed. John's unable to have a reply because when you hit an ATP, you want to hit it like a racquetball shot, just an inch or so above the ground, and that is exactly what Mcguffin did there. And that's deep as well. And
so it's 9-1 here. Tyson Mcguffin in the driver's seat. No lead is safe, though.
No.
Against Ben Johns. We've learned that.
Got to finish.
Side out.
Don't get extra points for hitting the guaranteed rate sign. Maybe he thought it was a 2-pointer and I can get out of here, get that win.
It's a good time for a guaranteed rate. You know, rates going up.
Oh, for sure. Lock it in. Lock it in, everybody. Up. Get a new ball, put in play. Again, Courtney Johnson doing a great job with all the referees, not just in this match, but on all the other courts and volunteers. Pickleball tournament staff can't do it without them.
Is that ball acceptable? 1-9.
Tyson Mcguffin playing his best pickleball here in game 3.
And again, just easy, plenty of margins both to the sideline and the baseline. That's what happens when you take the ball out of the air.
Another one on the line. 10-1. So confidence growing here.
10-1. Side out.
Left that one a little short.
Yeah, beautiful deep return. There's the difference. Deep return, can't tee off, and in the middle takes all angles away. So that's where you want to go if you have an opponent in singles who is hitting angles. Don't give them one on your return.
There's another beauty. He's had all the angles, all the right attacks here in game 3. So another game point, second one for Mcguffin.
10-1.
And there it is for Tyson Mcguffin. 11-1 in game 3. So he now trails 2 games to 1, still alive here on Championship Court.
And there it is.
So there's some of the beautiful angles that he's been able to come up with.
So we're going to game 4 here in Austin, Mcguffin and Johns. The perfect setting for pickleball here in Austin, Texas. At the Elevation Athletic Club, Pickleball Central's Austin Open. Ben Johns and Tyson Mcguffin, another chapter in their great rivalry. It goes to game 4.
Yeah, and we saw, as I mentioned in the Open, an 11-0 game win for Mcguffin. We just saw an 11-1 win. Now, can he get a second one? That is the question.
Yeah, Mcguffin won that in Mesa, Arizona. Eventually lost the match, so been some crazy swings in this rivalry, Mcguffin and Johns. As good as it gets.
Great track down by Johns, but if you throw it up in the air here on his side, it's going to be off the green monster for a double.
Johns up against the net. And again, it looks like Ben has just momentarily went into a little bit of a funk.
Yeah, on that one, Mcguffin guessed right on the ball before that, and Johns gave him a look and then didn't finish the shot.
Side out.
Heard Mcguffin say stupid. Just you're not going to hit that ball past Mcguffin, so, or past John, so come back cross court or leave it in the kitchen in front of him.
Point.
So 1-1 here out of the gate. Game number 4. McGuffin's got to win it to force a game 5.
1-1. Point.
Couple of mistakes. Cannot let Ben just have to get to 9 because you gave him 2 freebies.
ATP, but Mcguffin there on the return.
Yes, not able to do that ridiculous trick shot we saw earlier where he pulled that back across. And Mcguffin didn't overthink it either. That's where you should go. Okay, he hit the 1 in a million shot. Give him credit for that, but take care of business. Well done by Mcguffin.
Ben was ready for it.
Side out.
And you see again Mcguffin going like he's dribbling a basketball. What he means by that is go down with that, not just flat forward, because John's hands are good enough to handle that one there. Down at his feet, might get a mistake or a clean winner.
Ben John's doing what he has to do here. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and just very much under control in the transition area and taking balls out of the air, but moving them, not just satisfied to drop that in the kitchen, but moving Mcguffin as he does it.
There's another.
And that's what we saw in reverse in the 11-1 advantage for Mcguffin, those short returns sitting up. Forehands being blasted by Mcguffin. Johns does that himself.
That one's long, so Ben John's starting to pull away here. Mcguffin may need a timeout here.
So that's what happens if you know that return is the cause of the problem. You just know it. So, okay, I got to force that return to go deeper. But if I do that, I can make a mistake on the return, and now he just gave him his second missed return here in game number 4.
So Drew Felios alongside Dave Fleming here in Austin, Texas. Dave, no chances at a triple crown here for anybody today, but we do have several athletes playing for 2, and Ben Johns is one of those.
He is, and you know, it's not over, but he's got a chance to finish it here, and he would love to have that. Annalee Waters has a chance to get a second one when she plays singles. And Catherine Parento, who we haven't even seen yet today, Drew, she will play for mixed and then play Annalee Waters in singles. So she's got a shot at doubles herself.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the venue, the city, Austin, Texas. First time we've ever been here on the PPA Tour. We'll also go to your hometown, Dallas, a little bit later on this year.
Yes, and just for all my friends in Pittsburgh, my hometown is Pittsburgh, Drew, but where I live is Dallas.
Make sure I clarify that.
Yes, just had to do that for my Yinzers out there. And that's a great point by Mcguffin out of the timeout. So, yeah, 2 stops in Texas, and that tournament is only getting bigger and bigger as the community where I'm lucky enough to be a part of just is expanding everywhere.
Dallas and Pittsburgh, great Super Bowl's been played between those 2 franchises.
Almost all of those went my way.
2-5.
Another diamond from Ben Johns, a side out.
And again, the return. So when you just break down singles, it's, you know, depth of serve, depth of return, and then what does that combination set up for the next ball? Is the third defensive or offensive? And can you, as the returner, get in and put pressure on the server? You do that in a variety of ways. We've seen people attack. We've seen them drop it. There you see the value of going for your serve, and that's why we've seen the serving side with the wind has done very well here in singles. Doubles, it was a different story.
All Ben Johns so far here in game 4. And that is in for Mcguffin.
That's called having a caddy to read the putt for you perfectly. It's going to draw back into the hole. Just trust me on that. And he used the wind like a caddy knows the 8th green.
It kind of carries over into the next point there as Ben can't return it. 6-3 here.
3-6.
Mcguffin with a puncher's chance here in game 4. He'll keep the pressure on.
You hear some of the growling and barking that he's known for, and the crowd certainly loves it. You know, you talked about sponsors decked out in Skechers here, just new brands come into the game.
Side out.
Great volley there. Again, depth in singles is just so valuable early in the point.
6-4. Side out.
Good return. Come on.
Great return by Mcguffin.
4-6.
Make it 5-6 here. So that lead evaporating for Ben Johns.
5-6.
Just long that time.
Yeah, and you hear him yell, make it, because he had it, went for a little too much, and that would have gotten all the McGuffinness, which is a word, going here. Oh.
Service error there for Ben. Side out back to Tyson.
5-6. Side out.
And the difference between that ball that Johns just hit being able to be taken out of the air versus if McGuffin could have gotten that on the ground, he would have been in a perfect spot. But the reach put him a step and a half behind and couldn't reply.
Point.
Couple unforced errors on both sides here. Oh, Ben Johns, no chance. And a sorry, not sorry from Tyson.
Two-handed sorry, not sorry. Like, I am so not sorry. I'm going to show you both my hands. Here they come.
5-7.
Can't do it much better than that.
No, and it's the ball 3 shots before that that's so good because you got a severe angle. Are you going to give it back to him? No, he just hit a 60% ball deep and just McGuffin's off the kitchen and then you're in control. So smart. And then,
so 8-5 in favor of Ben Johns. He's 3 points away from a singles championship here at Pickleball Central's Austin Open. McGuffin has done a great job persevering. He's battled back, but does he have enough to force a game 5? Time is running out.
yeah, he certainly does. I mean, again, the key, and we've seen it. We've seen him leave those returns short, and when he does leave those returns short, he's seen Ben Johns just attack those. So now he went for a couple, and on the last one, the backhand sailed wide.
Great job by the entire crew setting up this VIP area here around the booth, and just a great venue, the Elevation Athletic Club here in a fabulous neighborhood in one of the fastest growing cities in America.
Yeah, they're keeping it weird. That's their theme here, and boy, the pickleball's weird and fun, and the level's stupid. It's so good, and it's thrilled to be part of this, and just watching this sport just explode at all levels. Great to see that, and we got people of all ages competing on the adjacent courts as well.
Side out.
Side goes just wide, so Ben Johns here with a side out.
8-5.
Point for Ben Johns, 9-5. 2 away.
9-5.
Mcguffin asks if Courtney Johnson saw it or not. She said, I did not.
Side out.
And we get to what I think is right, that it was deep, and Johns had no problem with that. And sportsmanship is another great part of this game.
Side out.
And then you go for just a little too much because you're being dragged all over the court there, and
9-5.
2 away again.
Full attack mode here for Mcguffin. And he's able to get side out back once more. Got to make something of these, though, Dave.
Yep, it's been at 5 for a few. He called timeout, and that at least stemmed the tide of scoring, but it hasn't enabled him to score.
Side out.
And you heard the squeak of the feet there, which was him trying to get around that and run around the backhand and pull a forehand down the line. Almost impossible with the wind. Wasn't able to keep it inside the lines.
4 straight side outs here. We are late. Game number 4. Mcguffin will make it 5 side outs. So Ben Johns cannot put Tyson Mcguffin away just yet.
Oh, he's going to have to earn it. Mcguffin is coming till they say you're not allowed to play anymore. And an example of that, they lost their first match, he and Jade DeVilliers. I'll tell that story after this point.
Side out.
Just wide. Lost their first match, were upset by probably the best player in Dallas, Brandon French, and Neil Metarata, his partner. They lose, and then they come all the way back and take bronze. That guy doesn't quit.
Foot faults. Mcguffin on the line that time.
Yeah, but Johns will take the clean winner stat if you talk to the truck. Like, don't, he's fine. And here we are at double gold championship point for Mr. Johns.
Long from Ben Johns. And in Ben Johns' hometown of Austin, Tyson Mcguffin is like an unwelcome house guest. He just won't go home.
He will not. Yep, I'm still up. Let's watch whatever's on at midnight. I'm good. Let's run another episode of Drive to Survive. Come on. I mean, look at the amount of court that was required just to stay in that point. All 20 feet wide and 44 feet long. And here we go again. Try number 2.
Another championship point. Easy does it for Tyson Mcguffin. Let's play on.
Yeah, and I love when if you hit a drop shot, don't panic. If they're going to get there, just stand in front of them and make them earn it.
Mcguffin taking a moment. It's not very humid here, of course, with the wind, but that sun's still a factor.
Oh, yeah, and people coming from all sorts of different environments and geographies of their own. They haven't seen this heat this year in 22 yet.
Mcguffin keeps the run alive. With each point, that momentum grows.
6-10.
Oof.
Side out.
couldn't quite slide all the way. If you had the Inspector Gadget arm, it would just go a little farther. Just couldn't quite get it.
10-6.
Championship point number 3. The best in the game, Ben Johns, adds another PPA championship trophy to his mantle. And he's the first ever men's singles champion here at the Pickleball Central Austin Open.
Yeah, it required his best because Mcguffin was spectacular. Mcguffin won game 3, 11-1, deserving, really forced the pace with the wind at his back, and it wasn't quite enough though in game 4.
So let's check in with the third member of our crew, Hannah Johns, with the winner.
Thanks, Drew. I'm here with our champion, Ben Johns. Huge congratulations to you. What an incredible back and forth. Mcguffin played some incredible pickleball out there today. What allowed you to pull away with the title?
Yeah, you know, he's a great opponent. He always fights really hard. You know, even down 2-0, you can't cut him out. And you could see that in the third game. He came out firing and he got hot. And you know, basically in the fourth game, I had to buckle down, play consistently, and you know, really focus. But yeah, hats off to him. Always a great opponent, and like playing him.
You hit some amazing tweeners in this match and the one earlier today. Why is that sometimes the shot of choice, and when can an amateur start learning that shot?
That would be in the situation, you know, where your body's close to the net, meaning my back's to the net, just because that's how the point ended up. So really, you can't get around the ball unless you hit it backwards, essentially. So that's the play in that situation. As for you amateurs, I mean, be careful. That's all I have to say, especially for the guys.
All right, and with that, we're going to bring Connor Ogden on court now to present your trophy. Connor.
Awesome. Hey, Ben, congratulations on yet another title today. It makes 2 on the day, and we're really proud of you and all that you've been able to accomplish. And so on behalf of the PPA and Club Corp and Pickleball Central, we'd like to present you that trophy.
All right. Congratulations, Ben. Guys, give him a hand. Drew, back over to you.
All right, another tremendous performance from Ben Johns. He is the men's singles champion here at the Austin Open. What a day it has been. Final thoughts, Dave Fleming.
Yeah, you know, when you wake up this morning as Ben Johns, you're like, you know, I'd like to win with my brother, and then I'd like to take singles. And in both matches, he was pushed in different ways. He had to deal with the elements. Here, he just came out firing, and then, as he said, he had to play solid because of how good Mcguffin played in game 3, but a deserving double gold medalist today for sure.
Amazing points, an amazing championship medal from Ben Johns. Incredible effort from Tyson Mcguffin. ChampionshipCourt.com for all your info on the greatest, fastest growing sport in America, the sport of pickleball. Austin, Texas, the site, the Austin Open, brought to you by Pickleball Central.
Tony don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, hey, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding a road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now.